Isaiah Martin versus 20 MAGA Republicans. Surrounded by Jubilee. Nothing like some good old rage bait. The day of the Lord.
So you just
Lord save me.
made Americans pay more for everything that comes from Canada because they showed a commercial you didn't like? That sounds like being a snowflake, if you ask me.
They're posting, bro. I don't know if you're acting stupid or you're purposely just like misconstruing what I'm saying.
It did happen. Yeah, we had funding for things that are outside of the country, for transgender balls, transgender plays, transgender balls.
Of those people that are sitting in ICE detention facilities right now, how many do you think have been convicted of a violent crime?
Well, 100% because they're all illegal. And
I said
had
convicted of a violent
Ooh, she's slippery. She's slippery.
Hi, I'm Isaiah Martin. I'm a former candidate for the United States Congress, and I'm here today surrounded by 20 MAGA Republicans.
All right. It should be fun.
My first surrounding claim is that Trump's mass deportation plan is making us less safe.
Here we go. I've read a few comments. I haven't watched the video yet, obviously, but I read a few comments that the first guy's kind of unhinged, so we'll see. Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? Uh-oh. He came with the entire, came with the whole suit, man.
Great to meet you.
He's prepared.
It's interesting that you claim that because according to the DHS, 70% of the people who have been deported so far have been criminals, either caught in the act. Yes.
Yeah, it's a lie, by the way. Chrissy Noam said that number too, and she got fact-checked live on, I forgot what news outlet she was going on, but I think it's closer to like 40-something%.
I'm surprised you're surprised. You ran for Congress and you don't know this?
This claim fails to distinguish between convicted criminals and those accused of breaking the law. Using U.S. immigration and customs enforcement data, the Cato Institute found in December of 2025 that 47% of ICE bookings had not been charged with a crime. Ooh. That's what I was thinking of when I said the 40-something%. So yeah.
What those numbers said?
That is 70%. The other 30% are people who went through the entire immigration process and had some sort of deportation detainer. So that is 700,000 people were deported like that. 1.9 million people self-deported. So
as of January 20th, the DHS says the Trump administration has deported 675,000 people in the past year, while an estimated 2.2 million have self-deported.
Far. That's all DHS data. It's publicly available. You can look it up. So I'm just, how are you standing for criminals? Is that what you're doing right now?
Of interior removals, 70% of the people deported literally have not been convicted criminals. What are you talking about? That's according to DHS.
That's according to DHS? Where are you getting your data from?
DHS.
What day? This is like just recently.
From up to October or mid-October of this year.
What day?
Fact check on this because I literally checked yesterday.
Uh-oh. Jubilee just curb stomped this motherfucker.
Criminals. 70% of the people deported are not convicted criminals under interior
They
removals.
were people, so there were people that had either been convicted.
I saw one stat, I'm not sure if it's been verified or not, but I think it's roughly 30% of people detained, not necessarily deported, but 30% of people detained do have at least a criminal record. I'm not sure if it's a violent criminal record, right? Because you could say technically someone with a traffic violation or something has a criminal record, but yeah.
Criminals.
No.
Or they had,
70,
we're like at a stalemate because now you're claiming something and I'm claiming something from the same source. So
70% of the people that have been deported under interior removals are not convicted criminals, and that is a fact.
Oh, there it is. Oh, God. Bro, they need to have like a fact checker on hand that can actually, instead of just like doing pop-ups, can just like come in and like interject with actual information.
It literally is.
it's 70%. I'm telling you, I looked it up.
I think you got it upside down.
At the end of the day, it is what's happening. They literally published the photos of everybody who was being deported.
So I didn't realize that they
What?
posted
Is that true?
every single photo.
Every single photo? You tell me they have a photo of over like almost 700,000 people? I have a really hard time believing that.
No, they
But somebody has a
the
database.
majority of them, yeah. But there's data.
Oh, now it's a majority of them. That's a nice little pivot in real time.
Yeah, I mean, you're hitting back at
You're
me
saying
with
they
data
deported hundreds of thousands of people and they post pictures of every single one.
They're not posting. See, this is what you're
Oh,
doing here.
he's getting mad.
You're building like this false deflection around it. I didn't say everybody.
False deflection.
I said they're posting photos.
You literally
of
said
people
everything. He
who are
did say
being
everybody.
deported, yes.
So that means that they're deported.
Oh, now they're just posting photos of people who are being deported. Not necessarily a majority. Just some.
They're posting, bro. I don't know if you're acting stupid or you're purposely just like misconstruing what I'm saying. Yeah.
But here's my argument.
No flags yet.
Under Barack Obama, of those that were deported under interior removals, 92% of them were convicted criminals. Of that 92%, 81%.
President Obama didn't institute a policy shift on immigration enforcement that prioritized immigrants based on criminality until November of 2014, nearly 6 years into his presidency. According to the Migration Policy Institute, 85% of interior deportees had criminal convictions in that fiscal year. Damn. So he's a little bit off, but closer than Buddy was.
Tier 1, worst of the worst per se. I think that is something that makes us a lot more safe than literally roaming around to go get grandmas in CVS that speak Spanish or going to that construction
That's an absolute
on a job site.
That's an absolutely false narrative because that's actually
That's just what the facts say. I mean,
That's
the
not
facts.
what-
Uh-oh. What does it say? The Migration Policy Institute says during Obama's first year in office, 51% of interior removals were of individuals convicted of what DHS describes as serious crimes. The policy change greatly reduced the total number of interior deportations from 224,000 in fiscal year 2011 to just 64,000 in fiscal year of 2016. Okay.
Just don't
happening.
really care
That's
about
you just
reality.
see this is
While several news outlets report grandmothers being detained by ICE, as well as instances of immigrants being detained near CVS stores, there's no documented instance of the two converging. ICE raids at construction sites have well been documented. I think the guy was obviously just using, like, he was just being figurative there, right?
is common
can't
with
see-
what the left does.
Like, they're trying to throw a bone to the fucking 90 IQ maggots who are watching this.
Just
The left loves
fabricate-
facts.
No,
That's kind of how that goes.
again, that's not what you guys do at all. What for anybody watching at home, this is what they do. They get a piece of data, they fabricate a narrative
data.
around it, and then they try to sell it to you as the truth when in fact
This
it's
is
not.
your data.
So
Your data.
I mean, I came here.
This is Trump's own website.
I came
I don't
here
really
with
know what-
I came here with a piece of data. You completely rewrote it in real time.
No, I gave you the facts.
You completely rewrote it.
This guy's literally exposing himself. Like, he doesn't realize it, does he? Like, he took a fabricated piece of data and built an entire narrative around it. Like, he's calling himself out, and like projecting it onto Isaiah here.
I mean, I'm surprised you ran for Congress. You're one of the most disingenuous, dishonest people that I've ever met in my entire life. I was
Ever?
really taken aback for a second.
Bro, you just met him like 3 minutes ago. Ever? Because you guys disagree on something?
How? I looked this up
Yeah, dude. Big Marty over here is like, oh my god, get this fucking retard out of here.
yesterday. How is this guy sitting here lying so blatantly? You should be ashamed.
He's so mad, dude.
And I can see it in
I
your
don't think
face.
you
No,
actually read.
you literally just sat here and lied. And you're like
lied?
breaking down in real time.
I think I'm doing pretty
It's
good.
so
if I
incredibly
just had to say so
So
myself.
tell me, why are you so in favor of criminals being in this country?
Oh, nice straw man, dude.
I just told you that 70% of the people that Trump is supporting literally are not convicted criminals for interior removals. I mean, I don't understand what about this you
So he's just so you really buy into that narrative that little grandmas are walking around. Oh my God! Oh, let's get grandma. Let's kick her out
That's
of the
literally
country.
what they're doing.
That's not.
I mean, there are instances of elderly people who are not criminals being convicted. I mean, there's that one high-profile case in Minnesota, right, with the elderly. I'm not sure what his ethnicity was, but Asian man.
what they're doing. Cite one case like that.
Of what? Of
One case
you're
of
try-
the
you're
little
trying- you're
grandma
trying
standing
to-
at the taco stand getting deported.
Oh, nice little dog whistle there,
what
buddy.
I-
What?
mean, you're trying
You
to-
can't cite it. There we go. There we go. You can't cite.
Are you
You
denying
said-
the fact that
No,
To be fair, he probably should have had at least like one instance on hand, but it's fine. This guy's basically digging his own grave.
No,
of the people
I'm
that
holding
they're
you to
deporting?
account because that's the narrative you're just running with, and then you can't cite a specific example.
what I'm telling you
Again,
is-
this man is deeply disingenuous. Thank God you're out of politics. We don't need more lying politicians like you.
what we don't need
We
are
don't
people
need
that
more
come
lying
on
politicians
and
like
just
you.
go
I'm
and
running
try
for
to-
Congress too. I'm actually
running
still in
for
the race.
Congress?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
In Hollywood, Glen,
Right.
Burbank, and Pasadena. We need people who tell the truth. We don't need liars like you.
When this episode comes out and they show the fact check and you are miserably wrong as you clearly
I'm not going to
are,
be wrong.
and they
because I
show
looked it
this
up.
is going
He was wrong.
to be really beautiful.
He was wrong.
When America gets to watch the
looking at
fact
the
that
clock.
the person running to be
You're
your
looking at
next
the clock.
congressman literally cannot read data.
This guy's breaking
Because
down in real time. He's like
70%
looking at the clock. Please
the
get me
people-
out of here.
This is the worst case of projection I think I've ever seen on this fucking slop show.
I think I'm doing pretty
You looked
good.
at the clock, dude. You're breaking down in real time. I can see your face is like twitching.
He's so mad, bro. What the fuck is wrong with this guy, dude?
You don't seem like it.
Because here's the reality, is that under Barack Obama, we know that we focus more on the
so if you're-
convicted
so-
criminals.
Oh, he doesn't want him to
Just
talk.
aren't. I'm sorry that the numbers don't back up what you're talking about, but that's just
They
the
literally
reality.
do. They literally do.
This is just going to be just so beautiful because when they show this fact check, we're just
Yeah.
going to, I guess one of us is going to go viral over this, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Pause.
How can a guy be so confident in something and be so wrong?
I think we paused.
Pause.
Okay. Well,
Jesus Christ. Well,
This
that's...
is going to be a great fact check, I will say.
Oh, man. This might be a long one, dude. Hey, all right.
Great to meet you.
Good to see you, brother.
I'm going to start saying something that might not make everyone else like me, but I actually think you've been real honest during this conversation. And so, but I want to start with, I don't know if it's 30 or if it's 70% as y'all were debating, but even if it's 30%, shouldn't all of those 30% be deported?
Here's the problem, is that ICE has a certain amount of resources. Just like, for example, police officers. We have a lot of our officers focusing on violent crime. So when it comes to the limited resources that ICE has, I would say that it would make more sense to go after the worst of the worst.
Yes.
Violent terrorists that are in this country. We focus more on those folks under Barack Obama's administration, and I think that it makes more sense to go after those folks now. Because currently what we're seeing is an ICE that's literally going to go get folks blanket across the country. It's leading to so many mistakes, like, for example, the grad student, the student that was a college student in Georgia that was literally detained in an ICE detention facility for 2 weeks, literally as a result of a mistaken identity. I
haven't heard about that case.
That keeps us more safe in this country.
Was that I'm assuming that was under her last year, right?
So can we start with points of agreement? I think that might be useful. Can we, regardless of how we get there, can we agree that those 30% who got deported should have been deported?
The convicted criminals?
The convicted criminals.
Yes.
Which you said is 30,
Yes.
someone said it was 70, whatever.
Yes.
So we start there. Okay.
Yes.
So now we have to talk about the remaining, I'm going to say 70%,
Yes.
because I believe your stat. To me, it seems that those people are also making our civilization unsafe because they promote a culture of lawlessness. When
In what way? Just because they're here illegally? I mean, that's kind of a stretch to phrase it like that, in my opinion. Or like they might be here illegally, and you could say that they're breaking the law in that capacity. But if they're just here, basically emulating what other normal citizens do by just working and providing for their family, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say that's promoting a promoting lawlessness necessarily. I mean, if you want to be pedantic, technically, because they are here illegally, but it's kind of a shitty way to put it, in my opinion.
person, a category of person who is by definition an outlaw, they themselves have to be afraid of the police for normal things. And they encourage their friends then to be afraid of the police for normal things. And so
Why'd they pant to that guy?
Culture where people are afraid of the police because of things that have nothing to do with them. And so
Hold on, let me run this back.
have to be afraid of the police for normal things. And they encourage their friends then to be afraid of the police for normal things. And so you create a culture where people are afraid of the police because of things that have nothing to do with them. And so when these people...
Yeah, but that's like also a very one-dimensional way to look at fear of the police. There's also plenty of American citizens who are scared of the police. And not all fear of the police is necessarily rational, but in some cases it is. You know, it can depend on where you're located. It could depend on your ethnicity or your race, right? Also, I don't know if that's necessarily, like, to say that it promotes... Because, like, the reason that they're scared of the police is probably because they're here illegally and they know that the police could potentially report them to authorities and, you know, eventually fall into the hands of DHS and then, you know, eventually deported. I feel like he's trying to, like, make this argument, though, that this general fear of police, like this overall sentiment, that illegal immigrants, you know, which, by the way, is also a generalization that probably doesn't even apply to all illegal immigrants. There are probably plenty of illegal immigrants who don't fear the police irrationally, even though they're very well aware that they're here illegally. So it's like kind of ridiculous.
Around, they actually make it such that the people near them can't be pro-police. And so if you deport the people who aren't criminals themselves...
Like, once again, like, kind of a one-dimensional way to look at it, or not. Like, they could probably recognize that they're here illegally while still simultaneously promoting the idea of a police. I mean, hell, depending on what country they're from, like, I mean, if you're like a Mexican immigrant, they probably like the idea of having more police presence, right? Because that's something that in Mexico they might not have as much of, given the presence of like cartels and paramilitary cartel forces and whatnot. So I don't know. I think what he's saying is a bit of a generalization.
But who exist as a category of outlaw. And you remove this outlaw category, you no longer have this semi-enforced law situation, and then we can move to a place where we have fully enforced law.
This guy's like, holy shit. We might be retarded.
And so I think that we both agree that less crime is good, like, obviously. And I think that when the best way to get rid of crime is to police crime. When you punish criminals, they stop doing crime. But you need people to believe in the police. You need people to love the police. You need people to want to be safe.
Do undocumented immigrants commit less crime than American citizens?
I think it's probably true.
Okay, at least he's semi-good faith. He's not like, I mean, his argument's pretty stupid, but he's not like the most, he's not the slimiest motherfucker that we're going to see today. Virtually guaranteed.
But the problem is that if they get...
That is true, by the way. If you like statistically, there's a higher. I'm pretty sure American citizens commit crime at a higher rate than illegal immigrants. I'm like 99% sure.
Caught up in.
So if they commit less crime, then how does that fill the narrative that you're referring to?
For example, imagine I'm an illegal immigrant. I'm not, but imagine that I was, and some crime happened to me. I am less likely to call the police because I'm afraid that I could get deported. And same thing if I'm in a group of people and one of us is an illegal immigrant and a crime happens, we are now afraid to call the police because of what might happen to our friend. And so this category of outlaw creates a culture of not believing in police.
Not necessarily. Also, you can call the police and like remain anonymous in certain cases, right? Like you can contact the first responder, report a crime if you feel like you need to, right? But not necessarily be on the scene afterwards, right? I don't know how often that occurs, but it's just because you call the police doesn't necessitate that they're gonna, do a personal audit into who you are and see if you're here as a documented immigrant, right?
Okay. I support making sure that we can have a strong border in our country.
Yes,
I think
sir.
that that's fair.
Thank you.
Okay. I do not support violent criminals in our country.
Yes, sir.
I don't think the vast majority of Americans do. I also support making sure that there's a pathway to citizenship for those that are here that are undocumented. So the question then comes, what do we do with the limited resources that ICE has in front of us? I personally believe that we should be more focused on convicted criminals,
yes,
violent people that are in our country. But when we have a system in which 70% of the people that are literally detained by ICE itself are those that have not been convicted of a crime, 47% of those people have not even been charged with a crime. They're just people that
53% have been charged with a crime then?
What?
So 53% have been charged with a crime then?
No, that's not what I said.
You just said 47% haven't been charged.
47%. Oh,
So
I'm
what
sorry,
percent have been?
Yeah, 53%
So
have been
over
charged.
half are charged with a crime.
Yeah, if you look at what the 47%
my
number
God.
before Trump got in office, it was around 10%-ish.
Okay.
Right? So what I'm saying is that we should be more focused on rounding up convicted criminals in this country, people that are going to be doing things as it is.
So would you agree on giving more money to ICE to go get all the convicted criminals?
But that's not really what's happening, right? We're already paying ICE. We're literally spending more money on ICE this year than the Spanish military is on their entire thing, and we're seeing the results.
Well, because that's Spain.
Well, but I'm just saying. Well,
I don't want to talk about the Spanish
I mean, but come on. I mean, that's an entire military.
It's not 1453.
I mean, but that's an entire military, right? What I'm saying.
Curious what Spain's population is. Approximately roughly 48 million. That ballpark.
Is,
I'm sure it's more than
what I'm saying is that it doesn't make sense to me that we're spending all this money and 70% of the people that we're deporting, right? So at the end result, right? Not just the folks that are detained, the end result of the folks that we're saying, okay, we're going to get you out of here. 70% of them have not been convicted.
So can we address
and
the
I think
fact
that's an
that
issue.
having a category of person who is an outlaw, who cannot rely on the
What's up with this dude in the term outlaw, man?
makes the entire neighborhood unsafe?
Because what's happening in this country is that those people
Such a weird argument.
are those that commit crimes at a low rate. Here's the real thing.
Yeah, but you're not addressing what I'm saying.
Because here's what
You've
really
missed what I'm talking about.
Because here's what makes us less safe. What makes us less safe in this country is going and having someone to do these complete raids, and you go find these mistaken cases of identity in which American citizens have been detained.
Tragedies, everyone.
Every single one of them.
Every single
and
one.
those are at an increase.
All 10 of them.
That makes us far more unsafe than what the thing that you're talking about
All
in these
policing
policies
is always going to have mistakes, but if you want to claim that just
those
because
situations have increased.
Well, because policing has increased.
So what's happening in this country is that what you're focusing on rounding up people that have not been convicted of a crime.
Who are a category of outlaw.
And as a result
Can you
of that,
address the
you
fact
lead
that
to
those
American
people make
citizens
neighborhoods
being
more
detained.
unsafe?
No, I'm
All
not going to say that at
policing
all.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, once again.
Always going to have some accidents, and they're all terrible, and they should all not happen. But if you're going to have a system, you're going to mistake sometimes, and they're all bad, and I'm opposed to all of them. But I'm talking about, first, we agreed on the 30%, which is a huge point of agreement that I think we need to elevate, and then on the 70%,
That's really not. Like, you're just agreeing over a statistic. You're not agreeing on anything ideological.
these people cannot be regulated by the system in the correct way. They do not trust the system in the correct way. They definitionally, by the status of who they are, make the neighborhood less safe because it makes so everybody in the neighborhood can't rely on the police or their friend might get deported. So you have to remove these people in order to get rid of this semi-enforced, semi-category of law. You have to do that. Do you not believe that?
Are you saying?
And once again, like, this guy also doesn't understand that local law enforcement doesn't necessarily have to detain or determine whether or not somebody's an illegal immigrant, right? If an illegal immigrant really feels like they need a law enforcement officer, I guarantee you that's not going to stop them from contacting a first responder or contacting the police if they really feel like their life is in danger, right? Like, he's making such a weird, reductive, and overgeneralized argument that just makes no fucking sense. I promise you, this is not happening anywhere in America.
That neighborhoods that have high percentages of undocumented people are oftentimes some of the most violent neighborhoods in cities. Is that what you're saying?
That might be the case. I'm not sure. But it's probably would be the case.
Uh-oh.
But it doesn't. That's not.
I haven't heard of that.
Cities that have
I haven't heard of that.
of undocumented populations, those cities often
Love that
have lower
strat.
crime rates.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the case or which way that would go. But I'm telling you, you have to address this category of outlaw. I don't know why we're going in circles here. Do you not believe that?
Because I don't think that the argument that you're making really has anything to do with the root of the issue.
The root of the issue.
The root of the
safety
issue.
of
The
America.
root of the issue is about safety.
Yes.
And if we have the fact that our ICE, as it stands today, is more focused on rounding up people that have not been even accused of a crime, instead of violent terrorists that are in this country, violent people in America, I think that that itself makes us less safe. Because here's who's celebrating: the people in this country that are doing wrong, because they know that people are more focusing on going to a Fiesta or a grocery store or a Home Depot or a place of work or a plant or somewhere else
You
to
think
round up
criminals
people.
are celebrating this?
I would say so, because they're literally being rounded up at a lower rate.
Okay, pause. You've been voted out by the.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, nice. The fist bump. All right, who's next? Didn't even stop.
Hi, how are you?
One of the issues that Trump mainly won on was immigration.
That's
from
true.
both sides. And I find disingenuous this selective outrage to what makes it safe.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of children missing and not accounted for since the open borders. We have $150 billion.
The U.S. Department of Government Efficiency cited Federation for American Immigration Reform data showing a net cost of $150.7 billion being paid for undocumented immigrants in the country.
Spent
Is that a legitimate statistic, though? I'm very skeptical of anything that Doge reported on. So,
from American taxpayer dollars to house and educate and give welfare.
that's not true. Once again. Well, maybe for public education. Actually, I'll back up. For public education. But this idea that illegal immigrants are cashing in on, like, federal subsidized programs like SNAP, Medicare, Medicaid, what else? Just like general welfare programs, Social Security, Section 8 housing, that's just not true. They're not eligible. As a matter of fact, illegal immigrants probably pay between $50 and $60 billion in taxes per year, roughly.
Fair.
FAIR came to the figure by subtracting the tax revenue paid by undocumented immigrants, just under $32 billion, from the gross negative economic impact of illegal immigration. How did they calculate that, though?
To illegal aliens. This
Like what?
takes away.
Give me an
this-
example of that.
Well, I mean, just
The estimation has been criticized in the past, with the Cato Institute saying it overstates the cost of illegal immigration, undercounts the tax revenue immigrants generate, inflates the number of illegal immigrants, counts millions of U.S. citizens as illegal immigrants. Ooh, uh-oh. Might be some flawed information
New
there.
York, the $12 billion spent on housing immigrants in hotels. Just alone in California, $23 billion
12 billion?
was taken
Wait, what is she talking about?
to illegal aliens.
I want to have to
takes
fact check
away-
all of this.
Well,
It'll take too long.
Just look in New York, the $12 billion spent on housing immigrants in hotels. Just alone.
Did that happen? New York, 12 billion to house illegal immigrants? This is back in 2023. This is from Politico. I'm not familiar with Politico as an outlet. Let's see. Mayor Eric Adams on Wednesday sharpened his appeal for state and federal aid by presenting steep new cost protections for the tens of thousands of migrants in New York City's care. If we don't get the support we need, New Yorkers could be left with a $12 billion bill, he said in the formal address to the public. The $12 billion is the estimate of, or by summer of 2025, if the flow of migrants continues apace with current numbers, Adams said. Administration officials have previously forecast the cost could reach more than $4 billion by next year. The new estimation of $4 billion annually for 3 years is a significant portion of the city's budget that is currently $107 billion. By comparison, the NYPD's annual budget this year is $5.8 billion. The immigration system in this nation is broken and has been broken for decades. Nearly 100,000 migrants have arrived to the city since the spring of 2022, Adams said. While tens of thousands have moved out from the city, with new arrivals expected, the number of those remaining in the city shelters and emerging housing facilities could balloon to 100,000, right? I wonder what percentage of these are illegal immigrants, right? Because I think it just says migrants.
In California, $23 billion was taken away from our educational system to support illegal immigrants. Is that safe?
Annual spending for New York asylum seekers in New York City peaked at $3.75 billion in fiscal year 2024. The city expects spending to decrease to $1.3 billion in fiscal year 2026.
Safe for the hardworking American, for the veterans who have to wait behind illegals who get fast-tracked in their health care? Is that safe for them? Now, I probably find agreement.
Geez, so many fact checks in this one. Plain look like first 24 estimate from the Foundation for American Immigration Reform that cited providing education, healthcare, law enforcement, and social and government services to immigrants illegally in the state and their dependents cost Californians $25.3 billion per year.
Their health care, is that safe for them? Now,
The estimate, however, includes funding for 1.1 million U.S.-born children, or more than 25% of the calculated population. Uh-oh.
I probably find agreement with you that people who want to do it the right way, there should be less bureaucracy. There should be people who want to contribute to the American dream, who are here in good faith. We want, my father's an immigrant. My grandparents are immigrants. But you have to do it the right way. And sometimes when you have such irresponsible management of the borders, as we've seen with open borders for the last few years,
So what is
there
Donald-
will be
Question.
sometimes an overcorrection.
What is Donald Trump doing to make it easier to do things the right way?
Well, he's closed the borders. That's number one.
That didn't answer the question.
That's what I asked you. I said,
Yeah.
what is he doing to make it easier to come across the border the right way?
Well, he's making new policies
Like
where
what?
Oh, wait. Uh-oh.
it has to ensure that they're actually asylum seeking.
No, it's not what I.
That was already addressed by Joe Biden, by the way, in 2024 with his, what the fuck is it called? Not executive order. It's presidential proclamation. That's what it is. There's a presidential proclamation, and there was also a proposed piece of legislation in 2024 that ended up getting shut down by Republicans because guess what? They wanted Donald Trump to run on it in 2024, or the 2024 presidential election. So, yeah, there you go.
So, what is he doing to make it easier for the? Because you just said that you support making
Legal
it easier
immigration.
for legal immigration.
Yes,
Right? I think that
yes.
we all probably should agree with that.
Yeah.
What is he doing to advance that goal?
It's not
The
me.
first thing you do is you have to cut off
She doesn't like that.
the huge drain of open border policy where
That's not what I asked you.
Okay, well, again, and I think the
Oh, no.
the
First
thing
flags.
today is,
One
well, he's
possible
shut
thing?
the borders.
That's not what I asked you.
But that's a major thing. You
I asked
have
you,
to
what
start at the root
specific
cause
thing
and
is
go
he
from
doing
there. Well,
to
I
make
mean,
it easier for people to legally come into this country.
well, I know when he was in the first term, he
not
had the
talking-
remain in
we're not
Mexico
talking-
policy. I'm not sure of the exact policies, but what he's doing is
nothing.
working. He has, again, you're skirting away from the issue.
It's just like, it's annoying that you're so assertive, but you can't name any policy. Like, you didn't come prepared to, like, reference one policy. I mean, come on, man.
So nothing.
Americans put Trump in
Which, to
office.
be fair, I don't think there are any policies. I don't think Donald Trump has done anything to ease illegal immigration. I'm like 99% sure.
Because
So
they
if a
saw
central
if
pillar-
Kamala was still in office, we would have
So if
open borders and it would be even more unsafe.
If a central
for
pillar
sure.
to your
For sure.
argument is making it easier for legal immigration into this country, and you cannot tell me one specific example of anything
what
he's
I-
doing
what
for
I-
people
what
to
I
come
said
across
was-
legally,
what
then
I-
how does any
You're
of that
turning
make
my
any
words
sense?
around. I do think it should be easier for the right people to come in legal
So
ways.
then what is he doing
But-
to advance that?
But again, in the meantime, we have a big problem.
Oh, she's completely deflecting away.
When you talk
She's
about
pivoting.
people who talk about unsafety,
She's
let's talk about
running.
Lincoln Riley, an American who was just
Oh, here we
shot
go.
in and
With
living
the
her
fucking
life
virtue signaling.
and was brutally murdered.
Oh, kill
Is
me.
that safe to let people who are gang members and nationalists and drug cartels into our country with the fentanyl crisis a real thing? Is that safe for our kids? So let's not skirt the issue.
What happened to Laken Riley, I think every American agrees was absolutely horrific. I think we can say, and it's just like, for example, when Molly Tibbetts was killed under the Trump administration by an undocumented person in this country. This happens across, and every time it happens, it is wrong. And I think we all should say that. Any person that commits a violent crime needs to be locked up, deported. We all agree with that. But here's the central problem, is that what you're focused on is rounding up people in this country that have not been convicted of a crime.
That's
that
not
does not
true.
make us more safe.
That's
when you have,
that's a blanket statement.
that's just
you're
simply the
making.
facts.
Trump has run on criminals, violent criminals first.
Let me ask you.
That's what he's
Let me
focused on.
ask you a question.
And remember, too, this is important to remember, is that during Biden's administration, there was a higher percentage of people who were deported that were actually violent criminals. Same with Obama. There's actually been a lower percentage, right? I think he's referencing 30%. I think that's roughly correct. It's hard to remember all the statistics, but.
Of those people that are sitting in ICE detention facilities right now, how many do you think have been convicted of a violent crime? Just take a guess.
I could not. I trust the Trump
Take a
administration.
guess.
I
Just
don't
throw
know.
a number. Just take a
She's
guess.
just
What
a
do you think
bot.
it could
She's
be?
just a fucking
Well,
automaton
100%
then.
because they're all illegal. And
I
they
said
had a
convicted
lot.
of a violent
Oh, whoa. Oh my God. Go off, queen. Go off, queen.
Matter. Why have they not filed the papers? Why
I
are they
just
taking advantage
I
of the
asked
systems?
you-
It doesn't matter. All of them.
What percentage
Doesn't matter now, guys.
of these
They're irrelevant.
100% you
The
think
facts are irrelevant.
Because if they're there
only
illegally,
5%.
Some good rage bait. Jubilee has got it on lock, dude. They just know how to milk the algorithm, man.
People in ICE detention facilities
Oh, look at this. Federal data as of November 2025 shows 5% of ICE detainees have been convicted of a violent crime. Uh-oh.
today
Uh-oh.
been convicted of a violent
are
crime.
they here undocumented?
5%.
Are they here undocumented?
5%. 5%.
Are they here undocumented? Wait. Are they here undocumented?
This just screams about what people are seeing in this country. You literally believe that 100% of the people
If
in
they're
ICE detention facilities
undocumented-
have been convicted of a violent crime.
Okay,
Only
not
5%.
violent.
Oh.
I said a crime
I
is
asked
that
you
they're
about violent
undocumented.
crime.
I don't know the statistic of violent crime, but do you
I just
understand why they're
asked
there
you.
in the first place?
You just told me that
Okay.
number was 100%.
Yeah, now it just doesn't matter. She literally, does she just have like that bad of a fucking short-term memory? She was literally 2 minutes ago was talking about how we should prioritize, like Donald Trump said, illegal immigrants with a violent track record or violent crime track record, right? And now she's saying it doesn't fucking matter. Jesus Christ. These people are insane.
100%. The priority we should all agree on should be violent crime first.
95% of the people in ICE detention facilities have not been convicted of a violent crime.
I don't think that's a true statistic.
That's a fact.
Oh, that was just not true. Oh my God, I'm loving it, dude. She's unraveling in real time.
I don't.
Pause.
Hell yeah, brother.
By the majority, please take your seat.
They only got like 20. This should just go on to the next second. He's devastated, bro. He's crashing out. He's like, bro, we still have three more claims to talk about. We are cooked.
How's it going?
Oh, here's Big Marty.
Nice to meet you.
Let's see. It's my last name.
Oh, it's a great name. Awesome. So I guess on this illegal immigration point, you talked about affordability earlier, so I want to talk about that a little bit. Do you know how much the average American citizen contributes in taxes to subsidize illegal immigrants in this country?
How much?
That's $1,000 per U.S. taxpaying citizen subsidizing.
Here we go. A 2023 report by the Federation for American Immigration Reform estimated that illegal immigrants cost U.S. taxpayers a net average of $956 per person annually. As with previous citations of fair estimation, this one falls under the same criticism. Uh-oh. Bad info, maybe.
Illegal immigrants in our country. We also talked about affordability earlier.
You're talking about federal taxes, right?
Yes. Why are house prices so expensive?
That inflates the figure by including the
We
cost
haven't
of American-born children of undocumented. Oh no. And if they're American-born, they're civilians, so it probably includes like public education costs and whatnot.
Close enough over the time.
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason, but I would say another part of the reason is because we've had 10 million people enter our country in the last 4 years who aren't supposed to be in our country. And guess what? When you kick out, according to the admin, 2 million people over this first year, we've had housing prices fall this quarter. Why do you think housing prices have fallen?
Oh my God, he's falling into the classic trap. The correlation does not necessarily equal causation. I hate when people say, like, there's two things that people say about housing prices that kill me, right? One thing is private equity, and the other is immigration. I can promise you that those two are negligible variables when it comes to actual real estate prices, okay? If you want to talk about what's actually making real estate so unaffordable right now, it's a lack of supply and probably exclusionary zoning, right? That's what needs to be addressed. We need more supply. We need to build more houses fundamentally, right? I promise you it's not because illegal immigrants are coming over and buying up all these fucking houses. Either we build more houses or we wait for all the boomers who are probably the majority homeowners to die off. And then we take their houses. And then like obviously the market will accommodate for cheaper housing.
Over the last few years, right? Let's just say over the last 4 years, when do you think the majority of housing inflation happened? When years?
Tell me.
2021, 2022, as a result of that?
Probably.
We know that, but we know our highest years for immigration into this country were after that.
Well,
So the results is that we saw in the time period in which we had the most illegal immigration coming into this country, that was not coincided with the increase in housing prices.
Well, Sue, can you explain to me why housing prices have fell this quarter? What policy change has been brought?
Is that actually true? I don't know if they'll show a fact check. Has housing prices fell this quarter? I've seen this guy in another debate. One thing I will give Marty credit for is he usually cites some sort of statistics. Like he doesn't like fabricate shit, from what I've seen. Housing prices are showing signs of easing, but they are still historically high. The market is shifting towards a more balanced state, with some reports indicating a modest decline in prices in certain areas, while overall prices have risen in many markets. Okay, we'll have to do like more thorough research before I back up that claim. But
about besides kicking out millions of people?
Because here's the root of the issue, is that when you look at, for example, what immigration as a whole, whether it's illegal immigration, whether it's legal immigration, we know that accounts for maybe 1%, maybe 2% of total housing inflation. The rest of it is the fact that we literally have not built up to the demand that we literally have.
I mean, it's literally as simple as being a supply issue. That's all. Like, it's not rocket science. It's just fundamentally a supply issue. Illegal immigrants are like, once again, like I said, illegal immigration, private equity, they're practically negligible. Not entirely negligible. There's like a little bit of influence there, but practically negligible factors.
I agree with on that.
That's
point.
the overarching
I mean,
point.
100% we should be.
Also, I wonder if this guy's going to acknowledge that there's a shit ton of illegal immigrants who work in construction. So if we deport a bunch of them, there's going to be a lack. Like, how else are we going to accommodate supply if we deport the people who are literally working in construction, in residential construction?
Building more housing.
So that's the reason why housing has gone up for a long time, no matter what it is. No matter the facts are, in this country, we have not built enough housing.
Sure, but removing 10 million people would also do a whole hell of a lot to decrease the supply of people that are competing for housing.
Well, but we also know that of the people that build those homes, 50% of those people are those that are immigrants into this country.
Yeah, and the great irony is, like, we could try to deport these 10 million or roughly 10 million illegal immigrants. That would eliminate like roughly 6% of our economy, which would be economically disastrous. Not to mention a vast majority of them are concentrated in low-skilled areas, which keep in mind too, we have, I think, an unemployment rate of about 4.5%. If we were to remove all 10 million illegal immigrants, even if every single person who's unemployed right now were to try to fill those jobs, we would still have a net negative labor count. So it's like, guess what happens after that? You have to have more liberal immigration policy to accommodate for the lost economic output. Which is why really the smart thing to do is try to provide people who we know are going to be hard workers who are actually going to work these jobs with legal pathways to immigration. There's no reason to be stupid about it.
And so if you
overcomplicate it.
Go and you round up specific these people, you're also going to be able to build less housing as it currently stands.
Okay, so why have housing prices fell this quarter? The only policy change we've had that can relate to housing prices
not true.
is people getting kicked out of our country.
That's not true. For example,
what federal housing policy?
For example, in the city of Austin, they use federal funds, for example, to do something that they called. It was a big housing initiative that they had. It led to rents declining for the first time in a long time, housing prices declining for the first time in a long time. Sure. That was because they put pro-housing policies.
Yeah,
it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing in Minnesota. What's happening in America is that more cities are coming around to understand that the more housing that you build, the lower that leads for regular people. That's what's happening. Because if you look at, for example, the rate of increase, the way that it stabilized and the way that it starts to go down, it follows a trend of more cities adopting pro-housing policies to build housing all across America. And that's a fact.
Yeah, basically.
We need, like I said, I agree that we need to increase the supply of housing. But let's also go back to my point on how much American citizens are subsidizing illegal immigrants.
He conceded. He's like, oh, let's talk about tax subsidies.
American to subsidize taxpayer money to fund illegal immigrants.
What I don't think is a good idea is the fact that we're paying way more for that, for billionaires to go sip on pina coladas on private jets.
80% of Americans had their taxes cut by
That's what's happening in America right now.
Do you agree that, yes, 80% of Americans, essay and fact check, 80% of Americans had their taxes cut by the One Big Beautiful Bill for middle-class Americans.
How so?
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act of 2025 made existing tax cuts permanent for approximately 62% of American taxpayers. 91% of taxpayers did see tax relief due to the expanded standard deduction and expanded child tax credits, according to a congressional report. There it is.
$80,000 to $100,000. I think it was around $1,000 to $2,000.
What happened to the tax rate?
It went down.
It did?
Yeah, for 80% of Americans.
People? The tax rate?
Yeah.
Tax rate didn't go down.
Yes, it did.
Tax rate didn't.
Essay and fact check right here. 80%.
The tax rate?
Yes, the effective tax rate for
the
Americans.
effective tax rate.
Yeah, the tax rate for Americans went down.
Gotcha.
I mean, do you disagree with that?
Well, because that's not what happened. What happened was maybe an increase for the standard deduction and some other things. But a lot of those policies, and I just want to make sure that it's very clear here. the policies for regular people and the tax cuts that were in the big, beautiful ripoff bill, per se, for those that make less than $200,000 a year, were supported by a lot of Democrats. Democrats supported these ideas. Nobody supported raising income taxes for folks that made less than $400,000 a year.
Kamala Harris extended the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
Exactly. You know why? Because what we don't support, nobody supported raising income taxes for folks that made less than $400,000 a year.
Kamala Harris extended the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
Exactly. You know why? Because what we don't support is the fact that the richest corporations in America are getting away with paying little to nothing in taxes. What we know is that with the 21% corporate tax rate that we have, it's too low.
Okay, so perfect. I want to establish you want to raise the corporate tax rate, you want to tax unrealized gains, you want to do all these things.
Did I say that?
I mean, I'm asking you because that's what Kamala Harris said.
I think that for those people that make more than $1 billion a year, they should pay a property tax style tax on their wealth. That is what's
okay. Well, you talked about corporate taxes because that's what Kamala Harris ran on. She ran on raising the corporate taxes and raising the effective gains tax. Can you at least acknowledge that that is just economically suicidal for our country and would result in businesses slashing jobs? And
I love this guy talks about economic suicide, but he doesn't acknowledge that deporting 10 million people from our economy would also be economically suicidal.
Leaving our
so cringe.
Do you know what the top corporate tax rate was in the 1990s when Bill Clinton had the largest peacetime expansion of the American economy on record? 35%.
Okay.
Higher than what it was now. Do you know what the effective corporate tax rate? Do you know what the effective corporate tax rate was when Barack Obama had 74 straight months of job growth in America? Do you know when that was?
I know that know what it was? I know that when we slashed the corporate tax rates in 2017, that we had record job growth under Donald Trump.
Do you know what it was?
What was it?
It was 35%.
Okay.
So periods of time in which
here we go. While the corporate tax rate remained at 35% during President Barack Obama's 2 terms, businesses rarely paid that statutory rate, instead enjoying a number of deductions and loopholes to make the effective rate lower. Well, I imagine the same thing is probably happening now, right? Now that it's been lowered to 21%.
So much job growth in this country. Tens of millions of jobs created in this country. We had a 35% corporate tax rate.
And then when we cut it again, there was even more job growth under the first Trump term.
That's literally not what happened. The rate of job growth literally declined right after that. We just continued.
Obama in 2012 proposed an economic reform plan that would have lowered the statutory rate to 28%, but closed a number of loopholes. The proposal went nowhere in Congress.
And then it literally smoothed a little bit. That's kind of what happened.
No, we had record job growth under President Trump from 2017 up until the start of COVID.
That's just simply not true. I mean, because what happened?
You're just wrong.
Because you can.
Can we get a fact? Can we get the fact check?
The reality is that
Jubilee, don't make me look for this.
The second the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was signed, we were on a period of job growth for a very long time, but the rate of increase started to smooth out a little bit. Because here's the reality: is that we saw that job growth in this country can continue with the top corporate tax rate of 35%. And all I'm saying here today is that when you go and you cut these big taxes for these big corporations, what happens to the deficit? It goes up. It goes up.
Right, because we need to spend less.
You are borrowing against our children's future. That's why.
Also, I think it's worth noting that deficit spending has always been higher under the last few Republican presidents. I think since Reagan, it's been higher than any other Democratic president since Reagan. So, deficit spending was lower under Clinton, Obama, and Biden compared to Reagan, the 2 Bushes, and Trump.
Saw an emergence of $1 trillion deficits when Donald Trump signed that bill.
Well, I mean, that was mainly because of COVID and having to spend during COVID.
No, it wasn't.
But yeah,
even if
I agree that we have a spending problem.
Even if you look
we need to spend a lot less.
I mean, yeah, keep in mind too that COVID was the tail end of his first term. And yeah, I imagine there was a shit ton of spending that had to be done, obviously. But like, even if you look at his first 3 years, it's like
you look at the Committee for Responsible Budgets report, which is a nonpartisan committee of non-COVID related debt approved into this country. About $4.5 trillion is approved under Donald Trump compared to about $2.4 trillion.
Okay, so then let me ask you this: then, one beautiful bill. Do you agree with having more requirements for Medicaid?
So the facts are is that when you go and you pass a piece of legislation like that, it adds more debt that all of us eventually have to pay, and it leverages our children.
Oh no!
Pause. We're out of time.
Thanks so much.
All right, what do we got next?
Before we go any further, we want to take a moment to say thanks so much to Straight Arrow News for powering the fact checks in this video.
Nice.
Straight Arrow News is on a mission to raise the bar on journalism in a time of media bias and mistrust. Now, let's get into it.
Let's go, man.
Next surrounding claim.
All right, we're a quarter of the way through, roughly. It's a marathon out here, man.
Trump prioritizes the wealthy while he leaves you behind.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Who we got? Oh, this is a hot one. You made it, man.
Nice to meet you, I'm JP.
Good to see you, JP.
Let's get right into it.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think that I can see your claim. I want to hear you argue it a little more if you want.
I mean, the main argument is that look at all the things that Trump promised. He promised that he would make us not pay taxes. He promised us that we would have gas prices, national average, less than $2 a gallon. And he promised that we would cut our energy bills in half within a year. It's a year. We don't have any of that. Our energy bills are up 11%. Meanwhile, we see the wealthiest 1% of Americans getting about $1 trillion worth of tax cuts with a big rip-off bill. I would say that's very clear that he's more focused on the wealthiest people in our country.
I think that the argument that I would make, and I think it's a structural one, is that we've got, for the last 30 years, globalism has dulled our strategic thinking.
Oh my God, is he a fucking NGO schizo, man?
If we want real change,
Or NWO schizo, I should say.
not in a year. It's gonna be.
Yes, I love this argument from Trumpers. We're not in the golden age yet, guys. We're on the precipice of the golden age. It's coming, guys. It's coming, just a little bit longer. I'm telling you, man. It's coming.
A strong break, and that's just beginning.
But he said it
what we've seen, and I think that's just part of the issue with a lot of Democrats, is a hyper-fixation on consumers, on, the products.
Mario looks like he's dying inside.
What we've lost is labor, and I think you, as a Democrat, should understand this.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was a bad thing to be.
I don't know what this guy's good.
Under Joe Biden,
I didn't know that
had
was a bad
50 to 60.
Annual CBP enforcement actions increased by an average of more than 200% between President Trump's first term and President Biden's administration.
60% increase of border crossings. The illegal immigrant population. You can fact check me on this, Jubilee, but I think it almost doubled. It's like 10 million people came into this country.
Oh my God. I forgot I read about this. I don't know how I didn't catch this earlier. This is such a good fact check. Yes. There were roughly 10 million encounters, right? Now keep in mind, we'll just read this, right? CBP data showed roughly 10.8 million encounters nationwide in the 4 fiscal years correlated to Joe Biden's presidency. The statistic includes when U.S. Border Patrol takes a non-citizen into custody, asylum seekers who are technically here legally, when someone tries to enter at a port of entry but doesn't meet requirements. Also, keep in mind that it can account for repeat offenders, right? It can account for somebody who was immediately removed at the border or was deported who tried to get back in, right? So it's not necessarily 10.8 million unique individuals.
That affects working class Americans. Democrats don't care about this policy. The reality is that Democrats will be, tariffs are a tax on consumers. But
this guy's kind of a schizo, I'm not gonna lie.
What do you say about the will be, tariffs are a tax on consumers. But what do you say about the workers in America that have lost their jobs?
Yeah, this guy, it's just all emotion with this guy. Tariffs are an indirect tax on the consumer, right? That's just completely, that's not even a partisan issue. That's just the truth.
Millions and millions of jobs that have left this country. If you think this is going to change in a year, then you're wrong. We need policy that's brave.
He's like, what the fuck is going? What's this kid talking about?
First off, the unemployment rate is higher since Trump has taken office. So
the unemployment rate
is.
I don't really know.
It's very marginal, but it is technically higher.
I know what you're talking
this
about.
last quarter, we had a 4% increase.
I think that we should
inflation
on the fact
increased
that
much more than the last year's Biden administration.
That it was controversial.
When Trump got elected the first time, the economy went up. You guys.
Who is a Trump supporter? Which one? The guy on the left is the Democrat. The guy on the right is the Trump supporter. If you've never seen this, basically it's like you have 20 Trump supporters versus one person. It's called 1v20. Yeah.
Said, it's because he's benefiting from the Obama economy. But now that it's the first year and the economy is starting to lift up, you guys
starting to lift up?
You guys don't say the same thing.
Isn't inflation going up? What are you talking about?
Do you remember Joe Biden's presidency?
It is going up. And on top of that, nothing has happened yet, according to this, but Trump has also been trying to pressure the Fed to lower interest rates, which would lead to higher inflation in the long run. So
nothing happens when the government expands and continues to spend its money, lets millions of illegal immigrants in, and does nothing. If you want to lower inflation and at the same time bring back jobs, you need to do two things.
I don't think your friends think you're doing
domestic deregulation, while at the same time fighting the externalization of labor. We've left our country kill itself, and we don't want to do that no longer. If it's gonna take some,
not necessarily. This is kind of like a reductive argument that he's making because. Listen, I think we all agree that excessive outsourcing of jobs is not necessarily good, but we also have to consider not everybody is qualified to be doing the positions that get outsourced, right? I mean, in an ideal economy, you would always prioritize American high-skilled workers, right? Like, let's say take something like software engineering. We'd always want to prioritize American domestic software engineers over foreign ones if you can, but if there isn't enough software engineers domestically, then it makes sense for us to outsource that labor because you can still get a lot of value from that. I'm not sure what he was referring to with deregulation, but
comfort, I welcome it, and I think many Americans welcome it. What we're not gonna do, and what the Trump administration is not gonna do, that Democrats did, is ignore the American people. Yes, popular sentiment right now, they're not comfortable with the economy, but they have not been comfortable with the economy in the last 30 years.
Because you've been talking for a solid 3.5 minutes.
Do you think the economy has worked under Biden or under Obama?
Here's what we were talking about.
Yeah, this guy might be a bit over his head, man.
The idea in front of us is that it was not me that put these expectations on Donald Trump. Trump said it himself. He said that he would cut our energy bills in half by a year. He said that he could just go walk into the Oval Office and get it done. And what's happened?
We're exporting more LNG now than ever before.
What happened? This kid's like,
11%.
He's actually brainwashed. This poor kid.
Different than 50% down, like what he originally promised.
Why don't you like
Trump's not delivering?
Why don't you like about our current energy policy?
Why is it that you cannot?
The Democrats are the ones that constrain energy. The Democrats are the ones that constrain drill, baby, drill.
Ooh.
Pause. You've been voted out.
See ya, man.
Majority, please return to your seat.
Wow, that was very passionate of him.
I like you guys' energy. I will say that.
That was crazy.
Oh,
she was quick with it.
She's quick.
Hello. I just kind of want to piggyback off some of the things I feel like my last friend was trying to get to. So, and you said Trump set the expectation for himself. And so what I feel like a lot of people do on the left is they hear Trump and they hear it through the lens of, I already hate him, I already want him to fail. So already you're coming at it from a very counterproductive perspective.
Yeah.
The way, because I've watched every Trump rally because
I hear you, dude. It's definitely, these people are definitely annoying, but you gotta show a little respect, I guess, even if they're kind of crazy.
Absolutely, because I used to hate him. But what I found out was the reasons why I hated him was because of how things were cut up and presented to me for so many years. So I had to take it upon myself to go back. I had a lot of time in COVID to go back, watch every rally. A lot of it was hilarious.
Damn, everyone.
But it really gave me a full, better understanding of, oh, he was really saying this, right? So, because I used to be on the left, absolutely. How I see we're gonna do it within a year is the policies are gonna activate. We're gonna have clear policies and we're gonna make moves within the first year.
Yeah.
Now, if you're being honest with yourself and you're being genuine,
For sure, man.
Good things take time. Change takes time. We're not gonna fix everything that fell apart in 1 year. We're not gonna see the results by December. To me, that it would just be disingenuous to say that you believe that anybody could do that, especially since how we've suffered post-COVID. The globe suffered post-COVID. We have a lot to fix. So what I saw was him saying, hey, we're gonna do these things, policy, we're gonna have the strategy, the things set in place within the first year. Hence all the manufacturing deals. We have absolutely, NVIDIA, we have so much money coming into this country to build plants. All that's gonna take time. And all of that's going to help the working class. Because let me tell you something, I'm also still the working class. I'm college educated. I know they said MAGA wasn't college educated or black, but I am. And let me tell you, but I'm also still working class. I also still drive Uber, drive Lyft. I clean a yoga studio.
Yeah,
and
basically.
I tell you, like, usually those jobs go to, and no offense, but a lot of illegal immigrants to be.
Let me step in. So first off, I acknowledge that you work hard, right? That is a lot of work, and I want to salute you for that. But the reality is that
he's trying to slide in.
This country listened to Trump rallies, and they heard him say specific things, and that's what informed him that's what informed them to go and make the decision to vote for him. The reality is that when you make promises, you're going to be graded on whether or not you keep them. And the reality is that he promised that he would cut our energy bills in half. That has not happened. It hasn't even remotely.
Have you seen on Twitter all the people?
No, not Twitter. Don't say that.
They're not low here.
Hold up.
Yeah.
The energy bills are up 11%. That is a fact.
Yeah.
But
the national average for gasoline in this country
nationally.
is literally almost the exact same as what it was a year ago.
I know, but
it's about 5 cents less.
But even if you compare it by state, I feel like a lot of Democratic ran states are suffering.
It's an average.
Oh,
okay.
Let me feel
that
that.
How's an average
all the
calculated?
Democratic states.
How's an average calculated?
She's very vibe-based.
Population.
How's an average calculated?
You calculate everybody together and then you divide it.
So were Democratic states included in the average last year?
Absolutely.
So they are included this year.
Okay.
So why are you mentioning this is some new phenomenon?
Okay, what I'm saying.
Blue states were in there last year as they are this year.
So you're
and
This shit is not real, bro.
Prices are, if you compare it between this week and
They're
this
lower.
week last year,
No, but
it's
they're
only
lower than
5
last
cents
year.
lower.
But they're
and
lower
it was
than
Trump
last
that
year.
promised that he would have
But they
these
were
gas
lower.
prices.
But the
less than
prices are
$2
lower
a
than
gallon.
last year, dude. There are so many people thanking Trump right now
5
on
cents.
TikTok. Just look for it.
Wow, on TikTok? Hell yeah, dude.
But just look for it. It's so many
Fuck statistics, fuck data. Let's see what these fuckers on TikTok are saying.
people taking pictures of the gas.
All the Russian and Iranian and Chinese bot farms.
I ain't seen gas. It's $1.19. I done seen
not
that so
happening.
many times on
That
TikTok,
doesn't
bro.
happen.
I promise.
Oh,
you, the
no.
gootest thing you gotta do is go look for
Oh
it,
no,
baby.
she's TikTok brain, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You can look at the
trying to do
average.
numbers, but I'm telling you, real people.
Because
I'm
facts,
a real person sitting
because
in front of
facts
you.
True.
are feelings. That's how things
isn't
work.
Yeah, dude.
Facts don't care about feelings.
Well, you know, if you want to learn everything about anything, then you just go to TikTok. There's no liars on there.
Reality.
That's how
this
it
is not a
goes.
feeling. It's reality.
And the reality is that the national average for gas is literally only 5 cents lower than what it was a year ago. And Trump said,
so it's lower. So it got it lower.
Trump said that
And
he was
it's
going to
gonna
have
keep-
less than $2 a
and it's
gallon.
going to keep dropping.
Is that lower than
But
$2
it's
a
Hell
gallon?
yeah, man.
lower. There's progress.
So you're going to
And
celebrate 5 cents?
Yeah, I'm going to celebrate anything that's
Yeah.
lower. Yes, and it's going to keep.
I wonder if she could answer any. I don't think there's been any explicit policy that Trump has passed related to energy. Not that I'm aware of, right? One mistake that people make is that they think like the economy is directly tied to a presidential administration, and there definitely is economic policy, obviously, that can influence it. But people act like there are a bunch of levers in the Oval Office that presidents can just pull to impact different markets and whatnot. It's like, I mean, the reason gas is 5 cents cheaper is probably not due to any explicit policy that's been passed by Trump. So I'd have to look into it more. But yeah.
I'm not in my ego, bro.
Says who?
You're coming at this in your ego.
In my ego because I'm looking at the facts?
No, I'm coming at this as an American who wants to see
Hell yeah,
everybody
dude.
prosper and succeed.
So
Period.
here's what's not prospering in this country. The fact that people are seeing real wage.
Am I an economist? No. I don't know all that much about economy or economics, excuse me. But I do. I'm a software developer career.
Growth in this country, literally half of what it was last year. The people in this country that are literally
Are you
watching.
talking about unemployment?
What?
Are you talking about unemployment?
Do you know what real wage growth is?
Absolutely.
What is it?
But I'm saying, okay.
Oh,
wage
no.
growth,
Oh,
as in
no.
How much we're making as Americans? Like,
Wait.
if the money we take home is growing, that's what you mean.
Inflation?
Yeah.
Growth?
Right.
Yeah, I'm in college for economics. You know more than me. Oh yeah, you're still in college, though, so plenty of time to learn. By the time you finish your degree, you'll be good.
That determination.
Right.
And if you look at that number
Right.
with everything together,
Yes.
it's half of what it was last year.
Okay. But I'm saying there are so many different factors that contribute to that.
Foreclosures are up.
Absolutely.
People cannot afford to live.
But literally, this was last year. This has been happening since the
you had a
pandemic.
president.
This
that
has been
ran for
happening.
office
Oh, please raise those flags. I'm getting sick of her, man.
and he would
And now
fix
you're
every
coming
We
back
need someone new.
to,
And the reality is
now you're
that
coming
hasn't
back
happened.
now you're coming back to we want the magic wand. You, have
You
to be
guys
practical.
ran on having a magic wand.
You guys, I didn't run nothing. Like, what are you talking about? You're
I
literally
thought that's
you're
what we
coming,
were talking
like,
about.
literally, there's no
Oh, wow.
magic wand.
Been voted out by the majority. Please take your seat.
See ya.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, how's it going?
Nice to meet you.
See you.
She's well spoken for somebody who's had a whole bunch of nothing, no data, no nothing. Yeah, no. She's semi-articulate, but she didn't really have much substance to her argument.
Back on something that was said before about like the average of gas prices. So I know about this pretty well. So I'm from Washington State, and we had something called the Climate Commitment Act done by our Democrat-run state, which actually raised our gas prices since last year. So when you talk about the average only going down that much, it has gone down in a lot of other places in the country, but it's actually gone up in several blue states. So that's probably why you're seeing the average not go down by as much. So a lot of blue states live in insulated bubbles where they're not even getting the effects of some of the benefits of Trump's policies like deregulation for energy.
Did blue states have gas taxes last year?
No, it was a new, well, what we had is the CCA was introduced from 2022. The people tried to repeal it through an initiative. We gathered almost 2.4 million signatures,
That's
and
not what I asked, though.
it was
I
declined
said,
by the.
did blue states have gas taxes last year?
I can speak to my blue state. Yeah, we had, it was a new gas tax that we tried to repeal.
Blue states, as in California, Washington, other places, have had gas taxes for a long time, and they literally were in the national average last year, and they're in it this year. If you look at states like Texas, for example, that's a state that does not have this particular act that you're mentioning. Gas prices might be lower by 10 cents, 7 cents, 8 cents, something to that degree. The reality is that Trump promised nationally that he was going to bring the national average of gas less than $2 a gallon. That has not happened. But here's what he has delivered on.
I mean,
here's
people say
what
a lot of things during the campaign.
here's what he has delivered on. Trillions of dollars, $3.4 trillion worth of tax cuts, $1 trillion of which flowed to the wealthiest 1% of Americans. He can keep promises to his rich donor friends, but he can't keep promises to people like you.
I'm more
and to
concerned
me,
with...
I think that's the reason why Republicans are struggling across this country.
I don't really care if the rich are getting richer as long as the middle class and lower class are also taken care of. I don't believe in this whole idea that it's a zero-sum game and that in order for the poor to do better, the rich have to do worse.
Is that what I said?
No, but that's kind of what you're implying because we weren't even talking about.
That's not what I said.
We're talking about what affects people like me, right?
Well,
so gas prices affect people like me.
Well, what affects people like you is that Trump has not delivered on his whole promise of just wiping a pen on a piece of paper and then lowering people's gas prices.
But
What he
you
has not
ran for
delivered.
office before.
What he
You
has
know that's
not.
not
What
how
he
it
has
works,
not.
right?
What he has not delivered on is the fact that literally people have their energy bills that are going up left and right. Inflation is going up. Food prices are going up.
And in my Democrat-run state, they voted to increase energy
everywhere
prices
across this country.
Right.
The reality is.
I don't know what the specific bill that he's referencing is, but I imagine it's probably something to reduce the consumption of natural gas in favor of like more renewable, clean energy. Which it's like, yeah, the profit margins for, or it's probably like, how do I say it? It's probably more affordable to use natural gas right now, especially because we have a shit ton of natural gas reserves here in the United States too. But we do have to be considerate of like the environmental aspect as well. And realistically, we probably should be onboarding more like solar and wind and hydro and even nuclear power if we can. Because it could probably lead to more economic issues later down the line. If we keep relying on natural gas, we have to be considerate about the excessive carbon emissions. We might make technological advancements that actually makes renewable energy more economically efficient going forward. So yeah. But the sooner the conversion starts, probably the better, even if it's not necessarily the most economically optimized thing to do. So the Climate Act led to prices rising? I think so. So he's referencing legislation, I believe, in Washington. I'd have to look it up. I don't want to give you any misinformation, so I'll try to speak kind of limitedly on this. But I think he's referring to an act that was passed in Washington that probably put put more emphasis on trying to move towards clean energy as opposed to just using natural gas like oil. Which, it's obviously going to be better for the environment, but might not necessarily, it might lead to like energy prices going up for the time being. So it's kind of like a compromise. I think though, I would encourage you to go look up the legislation and read it for yourself because I could totally be off base there. Yeah, no problem.
You guys ran on an agenda.
Reality.
You ran on an agenda of lowering people's prices and you did not.
Okay.
You didn't do that.
Oh, we didn't do that across the board. Okay.
No,
now,
you didn't.
Well,
that's
when
what
you
a
look at-
national average is.
Sure, I understand that, but you're completely ignoring the factors that come into play in those individual states. In my state, just like they voted to raise the gas tax for what the gas you fill up in your car, they also voted to increase the gas for your natural gas that you use to heat.
Oh, word.
That affected small businesses. That affected immigrant small businesses more than anybody. You're not listening, actually. Because
talking
as
about
soon as I tell you something that actually affects the average and middle, it's irrelevant. The middle class is irrelevant.
I never said that.
Well,
here's what I said.
I'm trying to talk about what affects the middle class, and you're talking about billionaires and tax breaks.
Because here's what I said.
Okay.
What I said was that the national average is comprising of all 50 states.
Sure, I get what an
different
average is.
states have different policies. And the reality is that some of these states that you're mentioning literally had gas taxes last year as well. They were also included in the average that Trump was lambasting, saying that it was so high and that he was going to get into office and completely change that. He said that.
States have state
so the
rights,
reality,
so Trump just can't come into a state
Well, that
and
was
say,
his promise.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Oh my God. He's saying
Maybe he should have thought about promising something that he didn't deliver on.
It's getting heated.
Okay, sure. Every politician should think about that.
Technically, Isaiah is right because I don't think Trump has passed any national legislation, federal legislation to impact gas prices, but who knows? He's passed like 1 million fucking executive orders, so who fucking knows?
Everything that they've done.
That's
realistically.
the point. So the point is,
you're harping on this one thing and avoiding the actual thing that states are being mismanaged by Democrat-run states, from the governor down to the Senate, to Congress and mayors. I just won an election up in Snohomish County in Washington. Shout out, Aaron. And we won, one of the only Republicans to win in our state. And we did that by communicating to the people and actually figuring out what they want and being an open book and not being this insulated, we know better than everybody and we're gonna try to, manipulate your life into what we want it to be. That's not how it works.
What were some of the things that you guys promised?
What we promised to actually, we didn't make any promises to any sort of like donors or builders or anything like that.
What did you say that you would do in office?
That we would listen to the people and that we would.
What does that mean?
Wow.
Well, the biggest complaint about people was permitting. Permitting takes too long, and people were complaining about housing, that too much multifamily housing was being built. Well, guess what? If you make permitting so long and arduous, builders only want to build multifamily, because if it's going to take years for the permit to go through, they're not going to get their money back unless they make this building a multifamily thing.
Right. So if you were to be in office,
To be fair, that's actually probably a pretty good point. One thing about housing that does kind of suck is there's a lot of regulation that is kind of getting in the way of us building enough housing to kind of accommodate the demand that we have right now. I'm not sure if that's exactly what he's referring to, but he's probably on point there. Give him credit.
you didn't deliver on that.
Sure.
What would you think?
I would want to be held responsible for that. And I criticize Trump for that. I'm not
You
here a
think that people
sycophant.
should be held accountable if they don't deliver on what.
100%. That's what we have elections for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the point is the whole reason why we're having this conversation is because you guys, the Republicans, have not delivered on what they said that they would deliver. Food prices are up. Energy bills are up. Everything is up.
Yeah, the energy bills and gas prices are up in my state because of Democrats.
Because the point is that
like that's just facts.
We're talking about national averages.
This is rhetoric. This actually means so little because it doesn't actually get
so
into
little
the
to
weeds
that
of what
person that
happens.
goes to the grocery store and realizes that they can't afford anything. No, it means so little to the person that's losing their jobs left and right.
It means so little to the person who's seeing $2 gas in other parts of the country and they're paying $5.25 a gallon. That's who it means a lot to. Okay.
What are you saying?
It means a lot to the people that are single moms needing to like go take their kids to doctor's appointments.
What state are you referring to that's paying $2 and something again?
$2 gas.
Oklahoma, Tennessee. I saw in Arizona, I paid $2.80.
In Arizona, okay, if you look at the state average for Arizona, it's about maybe.
Actually, real quick, the quick detour. What was the average price of gas in let's do 2022. Actually, we'll do 2023, so it's basically post-COVID at that point. Yeah. So it was definitely up there. Wow, look at that. In 2022, it actually hit $5. How about national gas prices? Yeah, I guess so. I don't even remember that, dude. I spent a lot. That was like during COVID, still during the lockdown. Yeah. National gas prices, we'll do like last 5 years. Here we go. Look at that. Yeah, according to this, it peaked in June of 2022 at almost $5, man. Holy crap. It's been slowly on the decline for the most part. There's always going to be big dips in winter because people are driving less, so the demand is less. But yeah, geez, I don't remember that at all either, dude. I'll be honest. Not sure what happened there. Can't remember. Oops.
Maybe a little bit lower, but it's not. But we don't even know that.
I don't get
but we don't even know
that it did lower, but just not as much as you wanted it to lower.
Because that's what you.
I don't get what your point is.
Because that was your promise.
I don't get what your point
That's
is.
what you promised.
Okay.
You promised that you were going to have these prices less than $2 a gallon nationally,
Well,
and that did not happen.
I look a little different than Trump. I did not say those things.
Well, Trump still made these
come on.
promises.
He did. He did. Sure.
And he didn't deliver it.
Okay.
There we go.
Congrats.
Then
Good job.
Hey.
The only promises that seem to be kept are for those that are well connected.
Victory.
Because it makes no sense to me that we got the tax exemptions. They got
Someone else
passed.
breaks your promise for you. Is that still your fault?
What?
If you promise something to somebody and say there's a middleman, like, I don't know, a state government, and then that middleman completely takes away what you promised to somebody else, is that still your fault, or is that the fault of the person who actually has control in that area?
Why don't you explain to me what this Washington petition
Yeah, right.
It's the CCA's Climate Commitment Act.
So what is that?
So it's
Oh, he finally explains it.
And Jay Inslee, the last governor of the state, promised that it would only
Yeah, we gotta get this guy out of here, man.
by pennies. That's what he literally said. He
Time's
said
up.
Pennies. We're talking about pennies. On average, it increased between 50 to 70 cents per gallon. I'm not listen.
Okay.
You voted out. I'm sorry.
All right.
All right, man. Dude, I swear to God, I think half these people are actors, man. Like, I don't know if you ever seen these videos before, dude, but it's just straight rage bait. I swear to God, half these people are not real.
Isaiah.
What's up, brother?
Mo Robinson.
Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah, this guy's got the drip.
Everything you've set up here sounds really disingenuous and one-sided.
Oh, this is gonna be great, dude. Oh, this is about to be a slammer.
Where were you when Joe Biden's inflation
Hell yeah,
was
dude.
9%? Where were you when Joe Biden's gas prices were $8 and $9? Where were you when
Okay, hold up. $8, $9? That's a little disingenuous.
Side and was forced to shut their businesses, and the richer got richer and the poor got poorer? That was the real disparity there.
Oh,
and now you're
man.
sitting here complaining.
Oh, no.
Into a
Dude, this guy's proving the point I just made, is he not? There's no way this guy's real.
a presidency about how he hasn't done what he's promised. Give the man a break. We just came out of the worst economy that's ever existed.
2.7% was the inflation rate. The night of the presidential election. Is that the worst the economy that you've ever seen?
What do you mean Say that again?
On the night of the presidential election, the inflation rate in this country was 2.7%.
So does that just take away the fact that it got to 9% in 2021 and 2022?
First off,
what's your point?
First off,
Sounds like he's at a little bit, yeah. Or he's just very passionate. Yeah, like people, like, I feel like pointing to the inflation rate during COVID's pretty bad. I mean, we just had like increased or decreased economic activity during that. It's like, yeah, of course the inflation rate was high. Like there's nothing you could do. Like, and some people try to blame Trump too. Like, you know, I don't like Trump, but you got like, it's stupid to blame the high inflation rate at the end of his term because of what happened during COVID. Because it's like, it was a global pandemic. There's only so much you can do to curtail that.
I'm not here to defend everything under Joe Biden.
No,
what I am,
that's what I'm saying.
what I am here to say is that when inflation was high, that was a result of the pandemic, and he brought that down to 2.7%. So you inherited,
in the last year,
you inherited an economy.
So 3 years was absolutely miserable.
No, I mean the inflation rate during 2023 and 2024 was also pretty low. The economy actually did pretty well, all in all, the last few years.
Lower, and as a result, you guys ran a whole campaign saying that you were going to reduce it lower than the 2.7%. That did not happen.
But it's happening. In fact,
is it? Is inflation going down?
Well, actually, what's crazy is the
inflation going down?
The Fed chair, Jerome Powell, just said that we've taken in more money.
Is inflation going down?
Let me finish my comment. Jerome Powell said that the tariffs have brought in so much money
is inflation
that we're
going
actually
down?
in a surplus. It will.
Inflation is going down?
It's
Does
not.
anybody think that their grocery
Oh
prices
no,
are going
dude.
down
Actually, chicken did just go down. Why? Because Trump thought that.
Oh yeah.
Beef prices
Let's
are
go.
all-time highs.
So
we can play this
you're
game of
picking and
one.
choosing.
That's why you got to look at an average. That's how that
you
works.
ran for Congress, but you didn't speak out when Joe Biden destroyed this country, and now you're here 9 months into a presidency. Oh no! Come on, man.
Because
This
inflation
all
was
seems disingenuous.
2.7%. What are you talking about?
It seems totally disingenuous. Chicken went from
They're
$3.40 to $10, and you said nothing. And that's
Inflation is
ridiculous.
up.
And now you're complaining that Donald Trump can't magically flip.
He's
He
entertaining.
made the promise. Don't make promises you can't keep.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying is disingenuous. You haven't even waited a year yet.
He said that he was going to do this quickly. He said on
See,
day one he
there's
was going to
difference
start
between
lowering
Democrats
prices.
and Republicans. We realize things take time.
You made the promise and said that it was going to happen in less than a year.
Everybody makes promises, my man. Let's be.
Oh, okay.
No, you're not.
Uh-oh.
Again, this is why I think you're disingenuous.
Rude, dude.
Did you win your Congress?
Look at the fucking chicken, man.
Congress?
That inflation.
No.
Let's talk about chicken up in
You
here.
didn't win because you're disingenuous.
Dude, he loves this word,
We
disingenuous.
have inflation that's going up.
Okay.
He's like a fucking 10-year-old who just found, you know, a new word that he learned in English class today and he can't stop saying it.
I don't see.
So
what this is
gas
that you're
prices
disagreeing
nationally are
with.
beneath $3 a gallon, lower than they've been in years. And you're sitting here and
5
picking and
cents
choosing.
lower.
Again, you're complaining that it's 5
You know
cents
what it was
lower.
this time
and,
last
and
year?
going back to my man's point right here, Gavin Newsom also introduced a new tax this year that raised prices again. So when you have Democrats that are counterintuitive to the success of this nation, they're destroying it, not Republicans. Every single judge that sued Donald Trump.
Why have we not seen similar increases or decreases, for example, in Texas? Texas hasn't seen
Texas just got under $3, I think. People are talking about it right now.
It was less than $3 last year, the state average.
The state average was less than $3 last year. Would love to see
The price of gas in Texas averaged 2.74 a gallon in 2025, according to U.S. Energy Information Administration data. Ooh. The agency listed prices slightly lower in the first few weeks of January of 2026, averaging 2.35.
Check on that.
Nice.
And I will be correct.
Okay, I hope so. I hope you're
Oh.
right. But the national average is below. It's 5 cents below what it was. We're in a good.
You said it was going to be less than $2. That's what Trump.
No, I didn't say it.
Well, that's what Trump said.
Okay, let's get there. But it's really counterintuitive when you have Newsom, the guy from Washington, adding taxes on top of the gas to keep it high. It's almost like they're doing it on purpose to make sure prices don't come down.
Oh, please, yeah. They're just intentionally doing it? Please, man.
You
They're
get it.
Intentionally raising prices?
Absolutely.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Why is this hilarious?
What's hilarious to me is watch anybody think about intentionally raising prices when your central
Are you kidding
policy is tariffs. Nothing raises prices like tariffs. The argument was
it's true there.
Is raising people's prices.
No.
That's a fact. You can say it for whatever reason you want.
Your argument
but
is
it's
that
still
he's not
raising
looking
prices.
out for the middle class. You just changed your argument. He is looking out for the middle class. Hopefully tariffs bring jobs back here and brings back manufacturing.
Why is the unemployment rate going
there
up?
it is.
Manufacturing activity going down.
Well, let's see.
That's right.
The unemployment's going up because
Another thing that these people don't realize, like these people don't understand, there's this concept in economics. Hopefully I don't fucking butcher this because I'm not an economist, but it's called comparative advantage. It's the idea that like basically certain, like country A can produce a good more efficiently than country B, right? And so it's like in terms of international trade, it's more advantageous for country A to produce that good. And then like do trade with other countries basically. They have this idea that America needs to be completely isolated and protectionist. When the fact of the matter is that international trade works out really well for our benefit. Like it's just a good deal for everybody involved. And even if we do try to bring back manufacturing, one, it'll take God knows how long to actually build up the factories. And two, you also have to consider like the human labor aspect of it. Like unemployment right now is 4.5%. We just don't have that much bandwidth. I mean, I guess we could like increase immigration, but the current Trump administration is pretty hostile to immigration all in all. We just don't have that much human resource bandwidth to actually populate these factories. Not to mention that most of them probably wouldn't want to work in factory jobs to begin with, especially because there's going to be other markets that have open job positions and whatnot. Also, and this is going to sound kind of fucked up, I'm not going to lie, but like we also have to be considerate of the fact that there are like manufacturing sites in like countries like China and Indonesia, maybe like India, where like the workers there are just getting absolutely abused. They're not getting paid shit. They're working like 12 hours a day. The upside for other countries that China does trade with is that we get those goods really cheap, right? Now here in America, we actually have like labor laws that would, we have to charge overtime for anything more than 40 hours a week, right? We have to have like safety regulations in place. We have to pay a minimum wage, right? So like naturally, it's just going to increase the labor input, the costs of labor input, and subsequently lead to just higher prices all in all. So it's like, it just doesn't make sense economically, man. It really doesn't.
We had to fire a bunch of people that were sitting in government because Joe Biden made government jobs go astronomically out of control. And then he paid them ridiculous salaries. So that's why you're like, oh, the wages went down. Actually, wage growth hasn't gone up in 50 years. The median salary in this country hasn't gone up in 50 years. In fact, if it did, minimum wage should have been well over $20 10 years ago.
Will you support raising the minimum wage?
No, I won't.
Look at that frame, bro. He's definitely gonna have to, dude. Okay, rewind. How far, man? Here, we'll run it back like 30 seconds.
Was that Trump is raising people's prices?
No.
That's a fact. You can say it for whatever reason you want.
Your argument
but
is
he's
that
still
he's not
raising
looking
prices.
out for the middle class. You just changed your argument. He is looking out for the middle class. Hopefully tariffs bring jobs back here.
Got you, bro.
And brings back manufacturing.
Why is the unemployment rate going up? Why is manufacturing activity going down?
Well, let's see. The unemployment's going up because we had to fire a bunch of people that were sitting in government because Joe Biden made government jobs go astronomically out of control. And then he paid them ridiculous salaries. So that's why you're like, oh, the wages went down. Actually, wage growth hasn't gone up in 50 years. The median salary in this country hasn't gone up in 50 years. In fact, if it did, minimum wage should have been well over $20 10 years ago.
Will you support raising the minimum wage?
No, I won't.
Okay, pause.
Do you care about
Hell yeah, dude.
That's not
Hell yeah, bro.
Hey, it was good. I'll tell you.
Bro, that was sick. Hell yeah, man.
My next surrounding claim.
Yeah, no wonder they clapped so much, dude. That was a fucking show. That was fucking beautiful.
Complete and total failure.
Oh, here we go. Number 3. God, dude, halfway through. Oh my God. Oh. Oh God, dude. I'm fucking cooked. Almost 2 hours of this shit, man. I'm gonna have smoke coming out of my ears by the time we're done here.
pretty quick, Philip.
Thank you, sir.
Hell yeah.
Pleasure.
Good to see you,
Thank you
brother.
so much for having me.
Bro, look at that. What the fuck is that shirt? Is that Pepe?
Pleasure.
Oh my
Thank you so much
god.
for
Is he a
having
groiper?
Yes, so the claim.
Oh no. What the fuck is that? Oh, dude, this kid might cook, man. He might cook. There's a kid who looks just like him in my econ class. Is that Pepe? Dude, it is Pepe. It's like, I think it's like a Taliban Pepe shirt. He's like wearing the ski mask. He has the AK-47. It's kind of hard. It's not a good thing.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor and
Look at
pleasure.
this shit. You can see the top of the rifle right there, dude.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, this guy's about to cook, man.
Being that Doge was a complete and total failure, I have difficulty imagining that that's true because, and I am coming at this as an anti-statist. I'm a very strong proprietarian, believe in private property rights. But I will say, I read all these stories, and I expect they're at least somewhat accurate. That the U.S. State Department was running global.
This guy came straight for the annals of fucking 4chan, dude.
Programs all over the world for all kinds of absurdities, like they were promoting transgenderism in places like Nigeria where the people clearly don't want it. The people of Nigeria are often
In 2021, President Joe Biden signed a memorandum entitled Advancing the Human Rights of Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, Queer, and Intersex Persons Around the World.
very conservative. They don't agree with this stuff. They're promoting. Well, they were doing it through like education programs, primarily.
Pursue an end to violence and discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, or sex characteristics, and to lead by the power of our example in the cause of advancing the human rights of LGBTQIA+ persons around the world.
Primarily targeted at younger university students because they're trying to take hold of the
The United
youth.
States government was funding
The State Department.
State-sponsored sex changes, baby. Hell yeah.
Like gender ideology education.
A 2024 job posting for a security escort position in Nigeria and U.S. Consulate General. Applicants were told that the U.S. mission in Nigeria supports DEI and accessibility, and that all genders are welcome to apply. I mean, I don't know. It seems relatively tame, all in all. Maybe it's a bit of a culture shock over in Nigeria, but all in all,
Programs they were trying
pretty tame.
Yeah, they're trying to teach people in the third world stuff that came out of the Princeton faculty lounges, like there's 74 genders and things of that nature.
So there's a class that's funded by the United States State Department.
Oh, in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, in Nigeria. Yeah, these deeply conservative cultures that the Ivy League educated people that run the U.S. State Department, they want to convert it into an Ivy League faculty lounge. That's what they want to do. So, they spread all this cultural Marxist, propaganda.
Oh, he said that was the cultures. Oh, no, dude. This guy's definitely a Nick Fuentes fan, 100%.
And they try to the core goal of it, the end goal is to undermine the family. Is to undermine traditional family and traditional faith. That's their goal. So they want to do that in places that are very conservative and family oriented, like Nigeria, and Pakistan might be family oriented in the wrong way.
Why do you think that if this is true?
I thought we were supposed to be talking about Doge. How is Doge? He made a claim at the beginning, right? My short-term memory's probably shot. I don't know, dude. That was a mouthful right there.
Why do you think that they would want to do that?
Well, because the end goal is to undermine the family and to undermine traditional faith. Because if they make it so that the younger
the United States government was trying to undermine families.
Absolutely. Oh, the United States government historically, like I would say, for at least since at least the beginning of the Cold War, if not even before that, they've been some of the chief promoters of cultural Marxism and policies and ideologies and philosophies that are designed to undermine traditional faith and traditional family throughout the world. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, the U.S. government overwhelmingly, especially for the past probably 3 generations of Americans, it's overwhelmingly been a force for global evil. Really, it's an evil empire.
That's really interesting, because the last time I checked, I think the Doge was created to cut spending in the United States.
Yes.
And what has happened, depending on who you ask, $7 billion, $2 billion, somewhere between there. Is that
he'll probably bring up the fact that we cut USAID, right? Which, by the way, was a program that provided funding for incredibly poor people around the world, right? Places like predominantly Africa, I think, but also like maybe South America and Southeast Asia. And I don't know if this is true, but I read one statistic that says over the course of I want to say between 5 and 10 years, it's possible that due to the funding that was cut from USAID, that was initiated by Doge, I think it's estimated that 14 billion people in third world countries are going to die from it. So,
It's a drop in the bucket.
Do you know what that?
It's ironic that he would refer to all this as an evil empire. based on spreading gender ideology in predominantly conservative countries, which is probably already a very dubious claim, but all right.
Total percentage of that.
Yeah, man, that's pretty crazy. And like, I think the whole idea is that they're trying to promote this idea of like America First ideology. It's like, oh, well, we shouldn't be spending money overseas. But it also ignores kind of an important foreign policy objective, which is the spreading of soft power. In other words, like investing in other countries in order to have them more or less be allied with us and be aligned with us. So, it'd be one thing if we were just doing it purely for charitable reasons, but it's not, right? Like USAID and like the Peace Corps and all that was not set up. I believe it was during the JFK administration. Just because, they're like, oh, these poor people over there are starving. It's like, there are definitely like, I guess the good things that came out of it were predominantly collateral. The real idea was it was during the Cold War to kind of spread American influence across the globe in order to deter the Soviet influence, from my understanding.
The United States budget?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if it's below 2%.
Like 0.1
what do you say?
number.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Do you know what that total percentage of that is, the United States budget?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if it's below 2%.
Oh, it's far below 2%.
1%.
Yeah.
No.
From
Probably
a
even not
fiscal
even that much.
standpoint, it was certainly a failure. But what I'm saying is, from a culture war standpoint, I think there were some
when it comes
successes.
to cutting spending for America.
Oh, he's all about the culture war. Hell yeah, man.
It was a complete and total failure.
Close to a total failure. Yeah, when it comes to cutting spending.
I guess
they're like, you're not supposed to admit it, bro. You're sabotaging us.
Yeah.
We would agree.
On the fiscal level, yes, not necessarily on the culture war.
I'm glad we could.
Or not necessarily on the broader philosophical.
Because what also happened as a result of this was spending. The Trump administration went and pushed even further wasteful spending. Like, for example, the $1 billion that they're about to spend or currently spending to rename the Department of War. I would say that's a pretty wasteful group of spending.
Yeah, I would say it probably is.
$1 billion to retrofit a plane from Qatar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
That's pretty wasteful, if you ask me.
Republicans are very wasteful spenders too.
Now that's gonna piss them off, dude. See, this is a different breed of rightist. This guy's not a Republican, man. He's a fucking full-on far-right populist, fucking Roiper type.
No
I
question.
think we agree.
We effectively, and you might even agree with this too, to a great extent, we have a uniparty in this country. The only real separation, I would say, between Republicans and Democrats is really on the
uniparty. The Israeli elite.
And this is where
that's what he's going to say, isn't he?
He was correct. He said that,
oh no, he's bringing up Chomsky.
America, where the major parties have no choice but to run on culture war issues because economically, to a great degree, they're indistinguishable.
Well, what is true is that we see these massive increases to the deficit and the national debt when Republicans take office, largely because they blow a donut hole in the deficit by giving tax cuts to the richest people in America. I think that that's something that just needs to stop.
Well, I mean, I'm anti-tax and anti-status, so I don't think that anybody should pay taxes because I don't think that there should.
Oh man, this guy's built different, dude.
State that has to be funded by taxes.
Hold up.
You don't think there should be any taxes?
No, I think that society should be governed by voluntary private associations designed to protect private property rights.
Did you fly here to...
Wait, is he a fucking technocrat? Like a feudal... Is that the word? I don't even know. I don't know if that's the right word. There's this weird fucking right-wing ideology. It's called like the Dark Enlightenment. That sounds like what he's talking about. Hold up. Anarchist? Kind of. Not really, though, because, like, I think he wants a form of rule, but he doesn't want, like, standard, like, representative politicians. I think he wants more... Okay, hold on. Let's read about this real quick. The Dark Enlightenment, also called the neo-reactionary movement, is an anti-democratic, anti-egalitarian, and reactionary philosophical and political movement. It can be understood as a reaction against values and ideologies associated with enlightenment, advocating for a return to traditional societal constructs and form of governments, such as absolute monarchism and cameralism. I don't know what that is. The movements promote the establishment of authoritarian capitalist city-states. So it's like this idea that like CEOs would become basically like actual politicians. You know what I mean? It's fucking weird. This guy is far out, man. And spent a little too much time in the wrong parts of the internet.
No, I'm from around here, if you can believe it. So yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you drive here?
I got driven here.
You got driven here
yes.
On what?
Yes,
on roads, right?
Oh yeah, no, I fully recognize that there's public amenities all around us, and that in some way or other.
In order for you to drive here, it takes what? It takes funding to keep the roads
Well, yes, but I've been forced to pay taxes to fund the construction and maintenance of those roads.
The money has to come from.
Honestly, he might just be like a libertarian type. I don't know.
Yes, it'll come from. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. That was sick.
Thank you.
Oh, here we go.
Hi.
Hi,
Good to see you.
So I know Gavin Newsom is the leader for the Democratic Party right now. That's who's going to be the nominee most likely, and everyone's super excited about him. But guess what? I live in California.
Wait, hold on. What the fuck is going on here? Did they forget what the fucking claim is?
They're spending
Why are we out here talking about Gavin Newsom right now,
out of
man?
control, and the fact that nobody wants to even look into fraud and everyone is burning down Teslas when Elon Musk was trying to help and he came in with good intentions is shocking to me. Gavin Newsom cannot find right now $24 billion that he spent on the homeless when actually they increased the home.
It's not that he can't find it. He just doesn't know where it was spent. An April 2024 audit found that California spent $24 billion over the previous 5 years to combat homelessness. The audit found state agencies had significant deficiencies in tracking where the money was spent. Okay.
Homeless now by 20% because all they do is just keep building housing and hiring developers. These two developers now have been indicted because they've been spending all their...
Newsom acknowledged that the funding wasn't well tracked, saying it was difficult for the state to account for money spent at the local level. The total number of unhoused people in California listed in the audit increased from 151,278 in 2019 to 181,000 in 2023, a 20% increase. God damn.
Money on
That's a lot.
Coachella tickets and Birkin bags, private jets, vacations, you name it.
Well, last time I checked, I'm not really here to debate the record on.
Oh, they're killing me with the fact checks, man. Cody Holmes, the CFO of Shangri-La Industries, was indicted in October on charges alleging he embezzled more than $2.2 million to afford real estate, sports cars, travel on private jets, and VIP passes to Coachella, in addition to $250,000 in jewelry and designer handbags for his girlfriend.
Newsom and what happens in California. I'm here to talk about Doge and what has happened in the federal government. And as a result of these policies,
same time as 44/7,
maybe
Stephen
1%,
Okay.
0.1% of the federal budget. Meanwhile, you've just gone and spent everything else. You now have, for example, like I said, $1 billion to rename the Department of War. You now have, for example.
Yeah, I forgot. Let me do it quick. I don't know if they may have already put a fact check up. How much did Doge cost to operate? I think it ended up being a complete failure in the sense that the Department of the Government Efficiency Doge had a budget of approximately $40 million. However, some analysts suggest that it's actually may have ultimately cost around $135 billion due to various factors. I don't know, man. There's just like so much irony that the whole point of Doge was to find like wasteful, fraudulent, and abusive spending in the government, and it ended up just costing like it's just insane, dude. I don't know. It was just a total failure.
The fact that they're spending money, about $12 billion for farm subsidies because the tariffs were just that bad. So it's all a wash. So I don't really understand.
Well, nobody let him do his job.
How is it that you guys
him.
are actually cutting spending?
So he said that Elon said that it was somewhat successful, and the only reason he wouldn't do it again is because everyone burnt down his Teslas and tried to destroy his business that he started. $100 to $200 billion in zombie payments is what he said.
I have a question. Did you get your $2,000 Doge check?
From the tariffs?
From Doge as a result of all the spending that was supposed to happen.
An idea that spawned from social media and eventually got in front of the President Trump was a Doge dividend. Though Trump and Doge head Elon Musk expressed support for the measure, savings from Doge haven't hit their stated goals. I never even heard about that.
A Doge check. Did you get that?
I haven't got mine. What the fuck?
Have they introduced something for that?
Who said that they were
supposed
to?
Any type of dividend check would need approval from Congress.
We'd be getting a check in the mail.
But no, but you guys went into this not letting him do what he came there to do.
So you control
Why
the
would
House?
anyone want?
Oh, he had plenty of leverage to do what he wanted to do. As a matter of fact, they probably gave him too much. They gave Doge in general too much ability to do what they wanted to do because there were instances of people being granted like high-level security clearance without getting proper background checks, which is a massive national security threat, by the way. I really think what Elon Musk wanted to do is that he wanted to target, well, he was targeting a bunch of different government agencies in general, but really what he wanted to do was target certain sub-agencies related to, I forgot the exact names because there's like fucking hundreds of government agencies, but one that was related to aviation and like aerospace regulations, and another that was related to cars, which makes sense because, you know, he's the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. And so really there was that selfish intent from him to deregulate those agencies in order for his businesses to do better.
Continue.
In the White House.
Why I brought up California because it's happening in this government. Why is it happening over there? What do you mean?
You control the House, the Senate, and the White House.
Okay.
And you still couldn't get it done?
How could anyone work like that, honestly?
Having all three?
You guys did not let the guy
having
do
the
anything.
House, the
He's
Senate,
a Nazi,
and the White House?
You villainized him 24/7.
You control it all. You control it all.
So what?
And you
so
still
what?
couldn't get it done with your people in
You
charge.
guys were doxing him and calling this guy.
Oh, wow.
About every single thing.
Didn't he call himself Big Balls? I remember that. He was like some 20-year-old fucking hacker kid or whatever.
With Doge.
Software
Doge
developer.
was literally vilified. But we were.
Is she talking about Trump or Elon? She's talking about Elon. I think her argument is basically that like Doge wasn't able to do the full scope of what they could have because I guess Elon Musk was getting doxxed and people were burning some Teslas, which I think did happen, but they're incredibly targeted cases. And it's like, she's just coping, bro. I'm sorry. She's just totally coping.
Allowed to be audited by the IRS when Biden hired 80,000.
Yeah, I doxed him. Based.
Let me ask you a question.
You don't, I'm sorry, but if there's people doing fraud in the government, you don't want to know about it?
How does a bill become a law? Do you know?
Goes through Congress.
And so then what? It has to go through both chambers of Congress.
Okay.
It has to go to the president.
Yes, and then
Who has the majority in the Senate?
We do.
Who has the majority in the House?
We do. But what does that have to do with Doge?
Who is in the White House? What party is in the White House?
The Republicans.
So it's almost like you can do anything you want. They managed to pass tax cuts for the richest people in America, but they didn't manage to go get the checks that they promised the American people.
When did they promise?
So it's
But they're not even done yet.
Didn't happen
But they're not
whatsoever.
even done yet. Honestly, the same way Trump got into office and everyone said, price of eggs, price of eggs. Within 2 days in office when the bird flu was around for 3 years before and no one said boo.
Because here's what's so interesting
nothing.
about conservatives.
Yes.
Is that you run on all of these different things, and then the second you don't do them, you expect that people will not hold you accountable.
Nobody's saying that.
And the reality,
I didn't say that.
He's mad.
You walked around and cut 0.1% of the federal budget. Then you spent over that with wasteful spending, like, for example,
I don't like
the
wasteful spending. I've never said that I did.
that Kristi Noem is spending for a new private jet to retrofit another Qatari Air Force One. You can say
But
all
can
this
we
money
agree
to
on
do that.
something? Why? But can we agree on something? Is it okay to vilify Doge and Elon and all this stuff? Why wouldn't you want to know? From the get-go, everyone went crazy about Doge and all that. Why wouldn't you want to know if there's fraud? I know if my entire state, we don't know where the money's going, our sidewalks are broken, there's potholes everywhere, all the homeless and are trashing the street, graffiti everywhere. I don't know where my taxes are going here. I live here.
Well, then,
He's your model. He's going to be the running for president. That's your model, right? Not Kamala.
I mean, look,
that's your model.
I think
so.
You
I don't
should go
understand
and
why
talk
wouldn't
to
you
those
care?
Folks in California.
I do.
But ultimately,
I do, and I get nowhere with them. Everyone
I'm
is
here
committing
to
fraud.
talk about
everyone.
Doge. And the reality
but why?
is that
did you want Doge to start? Did you want Doge to start?
I support government efficiency. Actually, I do. I think that
did you condemn the burning of the Teslas and all that?
Let's talk about this. I believe that government needs to be more efficient. I think that everybody should. Barack Obama was somebody that supported a lot of that.
Yeah.
But that's not what you did.
Why
You added more
why so?
bureaucracy across the board. You then meant to go and spend more money than you allegedly cut. You lied about the money that you were cutting before you got called out before
NPR. The
NPR.
administration, you guys. I wish you guys held the Biden.
You fired Elon Musk.
Yeah.
You fired.
I was about to say Doge is no longer operational, so you can't really use that argument anymore. Say that we just need to wait. It's like, it's not how it works. As a matter of fact, following Doge, they like ended up like firing a bunch of people in government positions, and then ended up rehiring them because they're like, oh, wait a second, these people actually are important. Like, government services and agencies actually are important. We need to rehire these people. So it's just like, the entire thing was just a fucking shit show, man.
Wish you held.
You literally told Elon to go home.
Inflation
You
was
literally
transitory.
sent Elon
then it
to
was
go
out of
home.
date. Elon had to go home because no one let
So
the
then
guy.
he didn't do
You
the
wanted
work.
to destroy his. Okay, you guys don't let anyone do anything. Literally.
You control the House, the Senate, and the White House.
But that's irrelevant. Oh, so we can go back to immigration.
And technically the Supreme Court, too.
Then, because
So-
why don't you guys pass laws on immigration after
You
4 years
literally-
of Biden?
Oh, that's so annoying because Biden had a presidential proclamation in 2024, and Senator Chris Murphy, who's a Democrat, proposed legislation that was going to restrict asylum seeking. Like, they were trying to pass border control bills, man. And the Republicans shut it down. because they wanted Trump to run on it in 2024. They knew it was going to be a really lucrative issue to run on. So
literally,
oh, my brain is frying. My brain is getting fried, dude. Another 45 minutes of this shit. Holy crap! This shit violates the Geneva Convention.
Go and do what you promised. You didn't.
But we're not done yet.
You fired Elon.
Uh-oh.
He's gone.
Done. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, man? Scotty. Right. Nice to meet you.
Scotty doesn't know.
Yep, come on now. Honestly, I kind of want to start off like, why was Doge even on this? Honestly, when we all saw the prompts, I went, what the heck? Nobody talks about Doge anymore, right? I think we both can agree, right, that I do think Trump shouldn't be spending those things on the Department of War, right? Shouldn't be spending all that money, right? But Democrats did the exact same thing. And when you look at Doge, the core of it was good. We're trying to get rid of government spending. That was the whole point, right? And so when you look at your prompt, can you say your prompt again one more time for me?
Doge was a complete and total failure.
Complete and total failure. Now, can I look at you and say Doge was a complete success? No, I can't, right? But your rhetoric when you say that prompt, right, is totally misguiding for us, right? What are we supposed to say to that?
Whoa, sick, dude.
It did say, right? It said, what was it, 0.1% that we were saved in?
As a result?
I don't exactly know the number that they had said or anything, but we're supposed to cut government funding, right? Did any government funding get cut? You said it.
Wait a second.
Did any government funding get cut?
No,
you said that
because you then spent more than what you cut.
0.1%.
You cut 0.1%, then you went and bought private jets, you retrofitted another Air Force One, you renamed the Department of War. So it's almost like that's a wash. And I remind you, the national debt is set to increase this year by $2.3 trillion.
Okay.
So
Okay, but where does that money?
And so by the way,
$1 trillion and you say like a $500 million jet, that's like paper money right there.
So that's what I'm saying. So the peanuts on the budget that you cut is literally already been absorbed by other things. If you made $50,000, this would be the equivalent of celebrating a $50 situation. I mean, so look, let's talk about what's happening in this country. Is that you guys ran on cutting $2 trillion. Then it turned to $200 billion. That's nowhere close to being reality. So that whole situation.
Elon fucked up so bad because I think he announced that $2 trillion. I think it was immediately after Trump had won the election. And he went on stage and he said that Doge was going to cut $2 trillion. He was told, there was somebody who informed him before making that speech that he was only supposed to say $1 trillion. I don't know why the fuck he said $2 trillion, but yeah. And people have ended up using that against him, but yeah, it went from like $2 trillion to $1 trillion to like, I don't know, like 150 billion at one point. They just kept lowering the standards more and more and more.
Was a failure. If we're talking about Doge as itself, it didn't happen.
It did happen, right? We had Elon. What do you mean it didn't happen? It did happen,
didn't
right?
deliver on
now,
what you promised.
Exactly. No, I can agree with you, right? Did we cut $2 trillion? No, we didn't.
Did you cut $200 billion?
Trump tried, right? He ran.
He tried,
because
and he
saw
failed.
how bad Biden was at the government spending, right?
And he
ran
failed.
there,
He
right?
tried and he failed.
I don't think it's necessarily a failure, right? When you try, like, does Trump have to be perfect in everything that he does?
He didn't even get to.
No, he doesn't have to be actually perfect, right? But it's the whole point of
he didn't even
going there trying to cut government spending from the start.
Government spending increased. The government's spending more money than they did last year. Yeah. That's according to the Treasury.
Well, okay, break that down then. Okay, no, but break that down. Right?
You should say that Doge was a net loss. Like, that's all you have to do to shut this kid down.
In terms of why, though? But why is the government spending going up?
I mean, I'm just telling you, because if the whole idea was to go cut spending in
break
the
it down,
United States federal budget, that did not happen. It didn't happen. You're spending more.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to like say though, right?
I want you to just say.
Is dumb.
I just want you to say.
From the beginning is just dumb.
And that can be.
None of us, honestly,
that can be your argument.
Really wants to talk about Doge, and all of us, none of us.
That can be your argument.
About to cry.
Doge was a complete and total. And you're here to debate me.
Oh no, man.
Core of it, right? We wanted to cut government spending, right?
Wait a second.
Wanted to.
Wait a second. You tried to do it. So I guess you want a participation trophy.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Cut government spending.
You want a cookie?
Bush cut government
Oh, he's mad, dude. He's getting mad, bro.
Less government control. That's the whole difference between you. Democrats want bigger government control.
In 2016, can you tell me around, you don't got to be perfect, what the deficit was in this country? Can you tell me what that number was?
Like the national debt?
Yes, the deficit. No, the deficit. The deficit, budget deficit in this country.
No, actually, no. Tell me.
It was around the $500 billion range.
2016.
500. Yes, 2016. Okay. That number is now $2.3 trillion.
Okay, so
1.8 trillion on the deficit. 2.8.
Damn.
Because you guys went and signed in 2017
Look at that bar.
Jobs Act, which ballooned
We're speeding up, man.
Continued. It was a long piece of
Oh no.
It continued.
Oh no.
Biden's presidency.
Okay,
Get this guy out of here.
You just went and approved, literally, to extend those same tax cuts to now add $3.4 trillion to national debt. My whole point about why I'm talking about this is because Doge did not go and do the things that it promised. It said that it was going to cut spending. It didn't happen. I think that you conservatives should just own up to the fact that it was a failure.
Okay, say.
Oh. Uh-oh. That was tactically timed. All right.
What's up?
I want the Groiper kid back, man. That kid was funny.
Good to see you.
Okay, so I think Doge didn't do as much as we wanted it to do, and I think part of it had to do with the fact that Elon Musk had to be out of the office in 120 days in the administration because he wasn't a government employee. I think part of that also has to do with the fact that Biden increased to almost 1.9, but $2 trillion.
Bipartisan Committee for a Responsible Budget estimates that in its 4 years, Biden approved $4.7 trillion in new 10-year debt through legislation and executive actions, more than half of which was tied to COVID-19 recovery.
International debt, and he was the one who printed 40% of the dollars circulating in America right now.
Federal Reserve is responsible for printing money. It's unclear what statistic the person is attempting to cite. According to the Fed, currency in circulation increased nearly $213 billion from June 2020 to June 2021, crossing Trump and Biden administrations.
And 1.9, but $2 trillion international debt, and he was the one who printed 40% of the dollars circulating in America right now in 2022.
She doesn't know how the
created
Fed works.
More inflation, which created more spending in our government. We're spending and paying for people to have transgender balls in places like Europe and.
Oh, here we go.
Where is that happening?
Well, it's not happening anymore because we cut
Where was that
USAID.
happening?
Well, it was happening. I can't remember.
USA, before it was defunded, funded several LGBTQIA+ initiatives in European countries, something that was criticized by the Trump administration. Yeah, as a percentage of all USAID funding, it had to be like such a slim percent, I imagine, right? It was practically negligible.
The exact country, but I know that
You don't know the country, but you say that it's happening?
Yeah, right, dude?
It happened?
Oh, yes. We're back on track, man, with the transgender balls.
Yeah.
Where? I don't think that
I'm
that
sure when
happened.
you rewatch it, you can.
That
look
didn't
at
happen.
It did happen. It did happen.
No.
Yeah, we had funding for things that are outside of the country for transgender balls, transgender plays,
balls.
transgender balls. Yes, they exist.
Okay.
As well as condoms for places like in the Middle East.
Do you know why that is?
Yeah, there's actually like a legitimate. What are transgender balls? They're not like transgender balls, like genitalia, but you know, I think they're like trans. I don't know. Like she's probably just pulling that out of her ass, but like my guess is like transgender parties of some kind. I have no fucking idea, dude. These people are crazy.
Why we paid for condoms for other countries?
Do you know
Yeah.
what that is?
Go ahead and tell me.
To prevent the transmission of STDs, which are very deadly.
To prevent the spread of AIDS.
Well, maybe they should. What to prevent the spread of
Don't
AIDS?
you think that if we can prevent the spread of AIDS, that helps?
Yeah, some countries in Africa have like insanely high percentage of HIV and AIDS. Countries like Lesotho, I think. Lesotho, how many people? AIDS. HIV rates by country. Oh, here we go. Oh my God. Lesotho, 17%. Eswatini, 23%. God damn. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's a big problem in like Africa. Yeah, no, it's a big deal. Yeah. I thought it was actually a lot higher than that, to be honest. I thought it was like in the 30% range for some of these countries. It's fucked up.
I think that we should probably.
in this country.
I think that financially.
Because I would say that something that can spread across borders, something like AIDS, keeping that down is a really
Well,
good
it
thing
doesn't
for
spread
America.
across borders if we keep the people
Really?
who aren't supposed to be here out of our
Get on
country.
planes and
Oh.
So someone doesn't go visit. So an American
Yeah.
citizen doesn't go to a place that in the Middle East, like you're describing, and then come back to America. That doesn't happen. So preventing the spread of AIDS in their countries can help us prevent the spread in our country.
Why don't we why don't we not pay for other countries' health care and we pay for our health care, considering our health care because of Obamacare just this year is about to spike because it got pushed off artificially by the Biden administration. He artificially pushed off a lot of things.
I'm sure we could talk about healthcare till we're blue in the face, right? But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that Doge.
You think we should prioritize paying for condoms in other countries?
I love how all three, how many, has it been three? I don't even know, dude. Every person that's talked about this topic so far has just like completely started off on a different tangent.
$4 to national debt.
They just don't want to talk about it, man.
History of this country.
If
Congratulations.
the last lady did, but
Well, that's what Donald Trump did. That's what the Republicans you voted for did. The reality
Do you know how much it increased under Biden? $900 billion.
Doge was
$900 billion.
If Doge was to exist to go and cut spending for the American people, that did not happen. And might I remind you, if you want to go talk about the amount of debt approved by each president, Donald Trump approved during his whole term $8.4 trillion. If you want to talk about what he approved when Trump's
according to a June 2024 Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget Analysis, Trump approved $8.4 trillion. This guy, he's got his stats out, man. Did his homework. Of new 10-year borrowing during his full term in office, or $4.8 trillion, excluding the CARES Act and other COVID relief.
Without COVID-related spending, that's about $4.8 trillion within his first term. Joe Biden approved $4 trillion total, $2.4 trillion of which happened of non-COVID related spending. The result of it doesn't matter what you're talking about, because Joe Biden approved half the amount of debt than your savior, Donald Trump, did.
I don't consider him
That's
my
a
savior.
fact.
Jesus Christ is my savior. Let's make that clear.
Oh yeah, let's go, Queen. Let's go.
I don't think Donald Trump is that clear.
Dude, Jubilee, they just know how to do the pans, man. These guys are just a master of a craft.
Donald Trump, I don't think Donald Trump is a Republican personally. I think he's a Democrat, and he's.
Oh, now he's a Democrat. Oh,
what?
Okay.
Yeah, he always.
Where's this coming from?
It's news for me.
Really? Maybe.
This guy's like, what? He's a Democrat? Bitch, what the fuck are you talking about?
Ran for president as a Republican, what, 3 times? He's
yeah,
like,
to win. To win.
So he's not a Republican, but he ran as a Republican?
What has he spent his whole life doing?
He's literally, so people can't change?
People change ideologies.
So you're now saying that Donald Trump is not a Republican. That's news to me.
Yeah, I
think
don't
that would be
think he
news
is a
for the
Republican.
majority of Americans that.
Here's why she thinks. Is that her whole argument? Is that he was a Democrat in the past, which I do think was true. I forgot when he converted over to being he was a Democrat in the past. I don't know when he converted to being a Republican. I think it was actually a few years even before his 2016 campaign, but
run for president as a Republican 3 times.
You can register as a Republican because you can win as a Republican. He's openly said, I would register as an independent, but I'm not an independent and I won't win as one.
How does that make him a Democrat? He doesn't share any ideological beliefs with Democrats. He doesn't share any policy positions with them. He actively demonizes Democrats at every turn. Like, yeah, man, she can't be real.
Or do you think that they're just trying to
that it's alarming
win?
to me that we're now in 2025 and your argument is about whether or not Trump is a real
That's
Republican.
not my
because
argument.
You're trying to deflect from the fact that Trump
I'm not
didn't do what he
deflecting.
said he was going to do with Doge. If you cut $2 trillion worth of spending, and that does not happen.
But he doesn't do what I like. He's a Democrat. When he does what I like, he's a Republican, bro.
That's something that you have to be held accountable for.
Little bait and switch.
Idea of cutting $200 billion worth, that's something that you have to answer for. And for the millions of people in this country that actually thought that you guys were going to deliver them Doge checks, they're going to be waiting for it because you're not going to actually do it.
I don't think a lot of people expected that because, Trump isn't Biden who is handing out $2,000 to people for sitting at home.
That never happened.
Or, saying you don't have to, I got a check.
Oh, you're talking about this? You're talking about the
stimulus check
that Trump also gave?
I don't agree with stimulus checks. So what are you talking about?
What are you talking? Because Doge made these promises about a Doge check. What are you talking about?
Doge made the promises about a Doge check?
Yes, Elon made these promises.
Okay, well, Elon's not my president. Elon's not my president.
Donald Trump also said that he would support that as well. What are you talking about?
If it was available, he said he would support it.
Oh, she's slimy, man. She's slimy.
What's so funny about this whole thing,
okay, give me a laugh.
What conservatives do is that you guys can never take personal responsibility.
Says the people.
I
can't hear that from the side of the aisle that is pro-choice, who can't even take accountability.
You'll do anything to distract from Doge. You'll do anything to distract. Because that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
You've tried to move the conversation a million different places, but the facts is that you cannot answer for the fact that you didn't go cut the spending that you're talking about. And the government of the United States is spending more money than it did last year. That's a fact that you can't run out of. So they.
I guess I wouldn't know the exact number. So why don't you enlighten me?
So we didn't decrease.
What's the exact number?
The
Can you tell
national
me?
debt's going up by $2.3 trillion. The deficit 1.8. You don't even know.
But that was already projected to do so even before Trump was in office.
No, why?
It was already happening.
So
and
you-
things that are happening.
Oh my
Things that
god.
are happening right now. Inflation.
Oh.
12
We're
to
talking about Doge and spending.
I'm
what are you talking
about the price. You're the one who brought in the amount of spending we're doing this year, and honestly,
Because that's what the argument.
Get her out of here. Get her out of here. More flags. More flags. More flags. More flags.
I'm not
You're spending
deflecting.
more
I'm
money
showing
than
you
what you.
everything that's happening now in our economy is because of the pushback.
We're talking
Oh,
about
time is up.
Doge. Stay focused.
We're out of
Time's
time
up.
on this one. Thank you.
All right.
My
All right.
final surrounding claim is that Trump is
Here we
terrible
go.
for the economy.
Oh, this will be fun.
What's up, brother?
So I want to speak about all of your claims.
He didn't even introduce himself, man.
What's up, brother?
So I want to speak about all of your claims at once, since I think they all tie into each other.
We're talking about the.
Oh no. Oh no.
Horrible with the economy. You think Trump is doing more for the wealthy than for rich people? You think George was a failure?
Is he British? I have no idea.
You think Trump's immigration
He might be.
plan is horrible?
We're talking about the
we can
economy. by the way.
right.
Let's make sure that we.
Let's all right. So we can speak about the economy, but we've only been talking about the economy so far. You think that regular people care about gas prices, about grocery prices, about energy bills? I think regular people care about not being burnt alive on a subway, like Bethany McGee. I think they care about not being stabbed in the neck, like Irina Zaritsky. I think they don't want people like Daniel Penny to be made into political prisoners for defending innocent people from criminals who've sometimes been.
We're just talking about the economy, man.
By Democrats. So we can talk about
The little golf claps in the back.
Don't
So
you think
brave.
Crime
So
is
brave.
far more important, and Trump is doing far better on crime than Joe Biden ever did, than any Democrat ever did.
Okay, I'm going to step in here.
Right.
Every instance of crime should be prosecuted. I believe that Democrats support that, but that's not the subject. We can have a whole long conversation about crime. What I'm here to talk about is the fact that our economy is not moving in the right direction. We see that every single day.
Why did you say that?
I say that inflation is going up, energy bills are going up left and right. It's certainly not a good thing. Look at what's happening to the farmers, for example. We now have to go pay $12 billion to effectively subsidize them because the tariffs were not good for us.
Yeah. And we're deporting their workers because there's a massive amount of low-skilled agricultural workers who are illegal immigrants. So.
I'm going to still go back to what
Not great for the farming industry.
We're talking about the economy.
We've spoken enough about the
Oh
economy.
no. Oh no.
Minutes about the economy.
Well, that's
He's only 2 minutes in. They're like, get him out. Oh no, look at that bar, dude.
Unprepared.
Oh no. Oh fuck. No, they're like, get him out of here.
Talk about the
Talk
economy.
about all the prompts together.
They're like, wait, he doesn't have an American accent. Get him out of here. Get him the fuck out of here.
Do not want to talk about the economy.
Why do we
Deport him.
talk about all the prompts
Pause.
together?
You've been voted out by the majority. Please.
Oh, that's brutal, dude. Oh my fucking god. I would be so embarrassed if I was him, dude. I've watched like only a few of these episodes. I have never seen anyone get voted out that quickly. That was bad. Oh, here we go. I've been waiting for this guy, man. Yeah, he's got the drip.
You run a mean 100.
I don't. All right, so it's nice to
Faster than Trump, probably.
maybe he's a little old.
A little.
So you keep citing this figure of 2.7% inflation on the night of the election. You've also repeatedly said that inflation is up. It's actually, as of a couple of days ago, averaging at 2.7%. So you've kind of defeated yourself there.
That's not true.
That's true. That was published 2 days ago by the White House.
In December, the consumer price index rose 2.7% over year. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, core inflation, which excludes the more volatile food and energy indexes, rose 2.6% on the year.
Core inflation in this country is about 3.1%, and besides,
Average
they've
inflation
refused,
is currently 2.7%.
And by the way,
The Fed's preferred inflation gauge (PCE) rose 2.8% in November. Please
they refused to release inflation reports for a very long time. So I don't know what you're talking about with that. But
Sand fact check. People will see. But
yes, they will.
But average spending for ordinary Americans, prices are actually going down for staple goods. Bread down, pasta down, shrimp down. Again, statistics that came out like 2 days ago. I don't know about beef.
Beef is
Chicken's down. Eggs are
is at
down.
all-time
I don't know
highs.
about beef.
So what's happening across the board? That's why you got to look at things as an average. Inflation is up. Core inflation.
No,
It's really annoying that he picks like a specific amount of like very specific food products that happen decrease in price, but it's like there's a lot of goods that people buy, man.
It's at minimum. It's the same as it was.
It's about 3.1.
I haven't looked at the actual information, but I know for a fact, like prices have gone up at least in terms of food products. Prices have definitely risen a little bit. Especially because I eat routinely the same things. I know both my grocery bills and like eating out they haven't like skyrocketed necessarily, but they have gone up a little bit.
No, that's just.
And
not
the
true.
reality
It's 2.7.
is also, here's what's also happening in this country. When you have to go give $12 billion as farm bailouts as a result of policies that are hurting our farmers across this country, those bailouts that are being used
To begin with, you're a Democrat. You don't not support farmer subsidies. I'd be surprised if that were the case.
Well, that's
but
not
farmers also need subsidies because they just lost a huge amount of an elite
That's not really
slave
the
class
point,
that
though.
was making their labor extremely.
Equal slave class? Slave class? Is he referring to illegal immigrants there? I mean, they still hire, like, they're not slaves, bro. That's a really unnecessarily emotional way to put it.
Subsidize that cost to make that payment possible. Farmers also need subsidies because they just lost a huge amount of an elite.
Is he talking about, maybe he's talking about, like, he's referring to domestic farmers, right? Like, am I tripping?
Slave class that was making their labor extremely cheap. They need to be able to subsidize that cost to make that payment possible.
So you realize what's happening as a result of
What do
American
farmers
farmer-
import?
you
They're
realize-
growing things here.
Well, hold on, wait a second. What's happening right now is that the inputs that are used by all of these farmers to grow their crops across this country are costing more money as a result of the tariffs that have been put in place. That does what to their production costs? It makes things go up, right?
I don't know what gets tariffs on farmers. I'm sorry.
Potash is something that was consistently tariffed.
Yeah.
We can probably start making that here.
Also, I imagine a lot of big farmers probably use like industrial equipment, right? Especially if they're covering like a huge amount of land. So maybe all the goods that are necessary to be imported. You have to consider supply chains as well, right? Like let's say that a farmer uses a tractor, right? And they want to buy a new tractor. Well, maybe the tractor manufacturer who's rooted here in the United States imports a bunch of different goods that are necessary, right? Like a lot of goods have like very complex supply chains. Tariffs are going to impact all of those, which will ultimately just lead to higher prices. So I imagine, I don't know enough about like the agricultural industry, but I imagine there's probably quite a lot of stuff that they are relying on imports for.
I mean, the majority of our potash comes from places like Canada. What are you talking about?
We can start making it here.
But that's not the argument that we're having.
Do you want manufacturing to go up by producing that
That's
here?
not the argument that we're having. The argument
It's
is
an
that-
economic argument. It's
The argument is that what you guys did by putting these tariffs in place made things more expensive. And now we have to go put a Band-Aid on these things by going up and putting $12 billion worth of farm subsidies directly as a result as a bailout because of the policies that you guys enacted.
You don't oppose bailouts. I'm confused why you're bringing this up.
Because the whole reason why we're having to do an emergency farm subsidy act effectively is because of the fact that you guys artificially raised the cost of everything that farmers have to do. They're struggling right now. There are more bankruptcies.
I think they would need that money
Wait a
anyways
second.
because there has been a
Hold on. Wait a
huge
second.
portion of people which are not showing up to work
I just
because
want to
they
make sure that
shouldn't be in
you
this country.
understand this point very clearly. That we had more bankruptcies in the first quarter of this year for farmers than all of last year.
The Small Business Index
And so-
actually reports that small businesses are highly optimistic right
We're
now.
talking about
Oh, good thing they're highly optimistic.
amount of bankruptcies that were happening in this country
Thank God.
as a result of the first quarter of this year. We're more than all of last year. That's a fact. If you go and you ask these farmers whether or not they would want this emergency bill, they would tell you no. They would say just release the tariffs that are destroying their businesses.
Well,
left and
farmers
right.
also want really cheap labor, and I don't because I believe in what's best for the country and not what's best for big businesses and huge business farms that do that.
The unemployment rate for American citizens is going up.
Oh,
Takes
no.
time. We just fired a ton
Oh,
of
Yes! I love it. That's my favorite fucking argument. The right, man. We're not in the golden age. We're on the precipice, baby. Let's go. It's coming one day. You just gotta wait, dude. Who cares if inflation's going up? Who cares if energy prices are going up? Who cares if food prices are going up? Who cares if your rent prices are going up, dude?
So now it takes time.
It just takes a little bit of time. Just be patient.
It does.
So-
We're in year one.
So the point is that the policies that you guys are pushing are not delivering the result. You guys are making things.
We're getting a lot of money from tariffs, actually.
What's your argument for that?
What's your argument? We're making a lot of money off of it.
What's happening to the deficit?
Yes, but it doesn't consider how that money is distributed, I imagine, right? It's like maybe certain producers are making a lot of money. Is that money ultimately trickling down into the hands of everyday people? It also makes consumer goods more expensive. So even if we are making more money, is the amount of money that we have to spend on these increased goods, is it proportional?
To the deficit.
Probably going up because again, I want ICE to have funding.
So the deficit, but the amount of funding that ICE has received as an increase is not less than the amount of tariffs that you brought in. And by the way, who pays a tariff?
Importer.
It's all of us. The importer is the one that pays.
Yeah. Ultimately, the price gets passed down, right? Like technically, all of us. Yeah, like you said, right? Technically, all of us, but the price gets passed down to the consumer at the end of the day. So.
Yeah,
on directly to the
they
consumer.
can. Yeah,
so you're bragging. So you're bragging.
Importers buy these things.
So is the
and
thing?
They sell it to us. I don't think things should be easy.
So
for
is the
big
thing in front of us
businesses.
right?
So is the thing? People who want to get jobs around here.
So is the question in front of us about whether or not you support American people basically paying for the largest tax increase in recent American history?
You are supporting big businesses by
people?
doing this.
What?
Tariffs hurt big businesses.
Tariffs hurt,
they hurt everyone.
Farmers as well. That's why we had more bankruptcies for small farmers.
They hurt a lot of different industries. It's not just corporations.
Those farmers through their subsidies.
Well, not if they can't afford to keep their farms, because you guys literally have a situation in place where you're increasing bankruptcies left and right.
Farms aren't closing.
We literally had more bankruptcies in the first quarter of this year than all of last year.
Uh-oh.
We'll move on to the next debater. Thank you.
All right.
Nice to meet you guys. Yeah.
He's getting fatigued. He's like, God save me. Oh, Big Marty's back. Hell yeah.
All right, so I guess on the economy point, do you want to talk about tariffs or do you want to talk about the One Big Beautiful Bill? Because those were kind of the two biggest points.
About tariffs, whatever you want to talk about.
Sure. So I guess on tariffs, I mean, do you think that it is a good thing that other countries have tariffs on the United States and that those are allowed to go unchecked?
I think that when it comes to the American consumer, you guys raise people's prices by putting tariffs in place.
I mean, that wasn't the question I asked.
I think that's the result of the policies that you push.
Okay, so would you agree that it is a bad thing that other countries have tariffs on the United States?
It depends.
I don't think, I guess I don't think it's a good thing for our businesses that they have to be charged to export their industries to other countries. I think that it is a better thing for American businesses to boom if we get other countries, like we've seen in the UK and with EU trade agreements being negotiated out, so that we can get other countries to take their tariffs off of us. And that was the original point
Did the
of the
United Kingdom
tariffs.
take their tariffs off of us?
We had a new trade agreement that had them lower their tariffs on the United States.
Did they take them off?
They lowered them.
So let me ask you a question. What would be the purpose of enacting tariffs on a country like Canada?
On Canada, well, you want to protect certain industries, and Canada also has a lot of tariffs on the United States, and to get them to have a trade agreement with the United States on that, I don't think it's.
Didn't we have free trade?
I don't think
Canada?
I don't think.
What was the United States Mexico Canada?
Yeah,
agreement?
I was about to say the USMCA agreement, just basically like the spiritual successor to NAFTA.
Yeah, that wasn't in effect when Donald Trump took office.
Who negotiated the United States Mexico Canada agreement?
Look, I don't think it is not a good thing. It is not a good.
Do you know what it
thing
is?
Actually, I don't know. I'll have to look it up myself. He sounds pretty confident. The agreement between the United States, the United Mexican States, and Canada is a free trade agreement with the United States, Mexico, and Canada in effect from July 1st, 2020. Wow. It replaced the North American Free Trade Agreement, implemented in 1994. Wow.
It is not a
Do you
good
know what it
thing
is?
when
You don't
other
know what it is,
countries
do you?
Yes, I do.
What is it? Explain it.
Yeah, it was a trade agreement between the United States that overturned the previous NAFTA agreement.
And so what did it do?
It established the parameters for
So who
trade.
negotiated it?
It was Donald Trump.
So Donald Trump negotiated the USMCA.
Yeah, and we need to
the free trade agreement that was governing over the United
It wasn't
States.
free trade. We need to renegotiate these trade agreements.
What
of course.
does NAFTA stand for?
North American Free Trade Agreement. That's what was
that
before Donald
sounds
Trump.
Like free trade.
Yeah, again, that was before. That wasn't. That wasn't an effect.
What was the main difference though? Further, it is sometimes characterized as NAFTA 2.0, since it largely maintains or updates the provisions of its predecessor. The region, including Canada, Mexico, and the United States, is one of the world's largest free trade zones, with a population of more than 510 million people and an economy of 30.997 trillion in nominal GDP. Wow, that's a lot of money. Nearly 30% of the global economy and the largest vending trade bloc. USMCA is primarily a modernization of NAFTA, namely concerning intellectual property and digital trade, and borrows language from the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, of which Canada and Mexico are signatories. Key changes from its predecessor includes increased environmental and working regulations, greater incentives for automobile production in the United States, or access to Canada's dairy market, and an increased duty-free limit for Canadians who buy U.S. goods online. Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like it didn't really violate too many of the old NAFTA provisions. Probably just added a few more subsections of whatnot.
And so then yes, it was. And so, well, first of all, the USMCA was effectively the same thing as NAFTA.
No,
and so what changed?
I mean, the actual...
it's basically from what we just read there. I believe it's a superset of NAFTA, right? In other words, it includes all the things from NAFTA, just some new provisions added in.
Parameters changed, but like I said, I don't.
The parameters have changed, man.
That's a good thing.
Name one.
What do you mean?
What changed?
I mean, for starters, lumber. The way that we trade lumber with Canada changed.
How?
I don't know the actual intricacies of the USMCA, but what I will say is I don't think it's a good thing.
So we have free trade with Canada.
I don't think it's a good thing when countries
so
like
why
the
did you
EU,
go and put tariffs on a country that we had free trade with? What gets better than free?
Well, I guess with Canada, there's also the.
I mean, I didn't know that.
There's also the added part.
Something better than free, right?
There's also the added part with Canada that they were spraying propaganda into the United States.
Oh, there it is. What a great. Yes, let's sabotage our free trade agreement with one of our closest allies because of perceived propaganda being spread from Canadians. Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Good thing that we have an ally spreading propaganda into the United States.
That has nothing to do with what
yes, it is.
I'm just asking you.
Tariffs are a means
why did you
of
put tariffs on a
power
country
over other
that we had free trade with? It was free.
Yeah, because they're pumping propaganda into the United States.
They're pumping propaganda? Like who? Like the Canadian government? I have never heard of such a thing. Is there any proof of this?
Propaganda into the United States? How?
What do you mean how?
How?
It was like during the World Series, Canada propaganda to the United States. Of course, we're going to put
during the World Series.
We
showed a commercial of Ronald Reagan in his own words.
Yeah,
so that means
we shouldn't have other countries.
So wait a second.
Allies
so wait a second. So wait a second.
States.
So you just made Americans pay more for everything that comes from Canada because they showed a commercial you didn't like? That sounds like being a snowflake, if you ask me.
We should be holding our allies accountable.
Why are conservative?
Oh my God!
This is what happens when you have conservative government. They're so sensitive. They're over here raising your prices because of a commercial that you don't like.
What do you mean? Tariffs don't raise prices. There was just.
Oh no, you're so like people like him frustrated me the most because like all his faculties demonstrate that this guy is like pretty intelligent in terms of just like raw intelligence, right? But he's just so fucking ideologically captured, man. It's like fuck me. Like if this kid was actually retarded, I wouldn't give a fuck. Right? It's like all right, retard making retarded arguments. It's fuck another day, right? These dishonest motherfuckers. It's like Ben Shapiro. It's like, Ben Shapiro was actually a smart individual, but he's just so fucking, they're just so ridiculous, man.
This is what happens when you have conservative government. They're so sensitive. They're over here raising your prices because they had a commercial that you don't like.
What do you mean? Tariffs don't raise prices. There was just a study from, I believe, Use Chicago that came out that tariffs actually don't raise the prices of goods.
Why would you go put tariffs on a country we had free FREE trade with?
I think that we have a strategic advantage of having our lumber industry here in the United States. I don't want to be.
Another study analyzing $4 trillion international shipping orders shows American importers, thus American consumers, pay for 96% of tariffs costs, while foreign exporters pay approximately 4% of the cost. Dude, if that is true, fuck me.
Reliant upon
to go and achieve that aim.
Yeah, it makes it more expensive for imports to come to the United States so that businesses can relocate back to America.
Now, if your disagreement was tariffs on lumber, your answer now is for tariffs on everything.
Again, yeah, you want to establish leverage for future trade agreements. That's how trade agreements work. That's how negotiations work.
And the leverage is to go and charge for something you are getting largely
I'm tired, boss.
For free.
I'm tired.
Again, because you want to have a strategic advantage.
Oh no.
Free, and you've heard American businesses that does stuff with Canada as a result of that. The amount of trade that we've had for American companies that do business with Canada has decreased as a result of these policies. And now what's also happening is that Canada is now going all around the world to go look for other partners. It's why, for example, they're meeting with India, why they're meeting with the European Union. And when they go find these new partners, they're not going to want to go buy as much from the United States. So you know what these policies did because you guys were offended about a commercial? You sent our trade partners all the way around the world, you raised our prices as a result, and you screwed over American businesses, and that's not something that's good for the American people.
You want to talk about Canada?
Dude, he's good with tactically timing it, man.
You've been voted out. Thank you.
All right. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
She's like the one older person here.
Donald Trump on it.
I didn't see that part.
Okay.
I didn't see that part.
Okay. You know a tariff is a tax, right? And Democrats
right.
love to tax people. So all of a sudden,
Preach.
the Democrat
Preach,
in the
queen.
room doesn't want to tax anybody.
Well, it's
Okay.
Donald
I don't
Trump-
mean that's a bit of a simplification, but all right.
just wanna make sure
All
I'm
right.
correct. There's a corporate
Go
tax
off, queen.
on profits. A tariff is a tax on raw goods. It's why, for example, your tariffs are making things more expensive.
Okay, when you buy
You didn't know
that,
how that works.
okay, you bought that watch.
Rolex? Is this a Rolex?
Whatever it is, the watch that you bought, there was a tax
Lot
on
less
that.
than
It wasn't a
Rolex, right?
corporate tax.
And Rolex,
This is tax.
And by the way, it's an Apple Watch, but Apple had to pay corporate tax, which, by the way, I want to raise that, by the way, for Apple, if you didn't know.
So you want to raise corporate taxes, yeah, but you don't want to raise tariffs. You don't want to
Because a
talk
tariff
about
is a
tariffs.
tax
But
on
most
raw
of the
goods and not
tariffs,
on
by
Yeah,
the
she not
way,
understood. She doesn't understand that tariffs are taxing the entire consumer base, right? Whereas a corporate tax only targets specific corporations and their, revenue streams, basically.
most of the tariffs are comparable tariffs. So whatever country is charging us,
We had free trade
tariffs-
with Canada.
I don't know if that's true. It's hard for me to talk about some of these debates. I like to talk about more principle type of stuff. But basically, Trump was trying to get comparable tariffs. So if a country was charging us 30% tariffs, we charge them.
So then he went.
30% tariffs.
So he went to a
Number
country.
two-
We
Stupid fucking idea, by the way.
had no tariffs with.
And by the way, no country would ever do that because the idea of ever charging a unilateral tariff, and you think higher than like even 5% is fucking asinine on the entire industry, which is exactly what Trump proposed to do on Liberation Day, by the way. There were certain countries, like I think countries like Lesotho, he wanted to charge 40% unilateral tariffs on them, which is absurd. It is fucking absurd. Like there are arguably certain instances in which tariffs can be leveraged effectively and strategically. But when this happening, it's usually a specific country. It's a very low percentage, like 2 to 3%, if that, and a specific industry, right? Not, oh, let's hit them with 25% tariffs on all their imports. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck would ever do that?
And then added tariffs on them.
I'm not going to talk specifically about
Because
Canada,
it doesn't make any sense.
But let me just
What
say
about
something
Mexico?
else. The other thing
What about
about the
Mexico? You wanna
tariffs,
talk about that one?
the part
Oh,
about
no. They're starting to come to the realization just a little bit. They're like, oh, shit. We might be fucking retarded.
tariffs was that he wanted to encourage companies to build and
Manufacturing activity has
in hand.
declined.
We actually don't really need to trade with that many countries.
Oh, no. I knew she was going to say some dumb shit. Dude.
Oil,
I knew
we
it.
have resources. We have farmland.
Oh,
The
no.
reason why I think farmers
She might beat the record of the other guy.
going out of business is because corporate people and dark money is buying up their property and forcing little farmers out. We have become a corporatized farming country. It's BlackRock.
Oh, no. There it is with the Groiper. The Groiper had to fucking chime in.
It's bad.
It's BlackRock. It's BlackRock.
news.
I don't
and
have-
that is
I don't-
preventing small farmers
I don't disagree.
from.
I just want to make sure that I am not for these big wealthy corporations. I'm not one of those folks, right? So I agree that there's a lot of that that's going on that needs to stop. That's why it also doesn't really make much sense that you guys got rid of the Consumer Protection Bureau that was literally there to go and crack down on a lot of these things that was happening in this country. You got rid of that stuff, so I don't think
Protection Bureau was probably very corrupt, like most of the government agencies.
something
which
that
is why
returns
Doge.
$26 billion directly back to the taxpayers in this country. That's something that's inherently corrupt. Here's the problem. You guys put these tariffs on place, and now you raise people's prices. People's businesses are suffering as a result of these things that you guys have done.
Are prices going up or are prices going down? Gas is going down, eggs are going down.
National
chicken's
average are going up.
down, like I said, rice.
Oh, yeah. Once again, they're just picking out specific goods. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for providing 5 goods that have lowered in price out of literally thousands of potential consumer goods,
Pasta
if not
is
more.
going down. I don't know why you
Going
think.
up. I don't know.
Well, we need a little bit of inflation.
I would love
Government wants like 2 to 3%
inflation.
inflation. That is the goal
Inflation
of government is
going
to have
up
that
in
kind
this
of
country,
government.
my friend,
Number
whether you
two-
like it or not. And it's why people don't feel that great about the economy. It's why Republicans are losing everywhere across the country.
One
And
of
they
the-
tell you, and
okay.
when you ask them why they're losing, it's because they say that they don't like the way that Donald Trump has raised their prices. And ultimately, what's happening in this country is that your policies are making things more expensive for everybody in America.
Oh, ring. Time up.
Because the value of the dollar is going down because
all right, hey, it's over.
Going up.
We literally had a net.
We literally going down. So it's all relative.
Pause.
Did you not hear the buzzer? Wait, hey. No handshake. Oh, here we go. The final battle. I don't know who's gonna choose. Please choose either the Groiper or the fucking other guy with the drippy fucking coat. Like, we just need 10 minutes of shit posting real quick. Oh, he's bringing them back, dude. He's bringing them back. Oh, no. Wait, this is a good choice, too. Oh, yeah. My transgender balls lady. No, I don't know if you saw the beginning of this video. This guy's a fucking animal, bro. This guy's crazy.
All right.
I chose Dennis for the final debate because he's running for the United States Congress. So let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Prepared.
All right.
All right. Hell yeah.
My surrounded claim is that Democrats hate America.
Oh, wow.
Wrong.
Prove you wrong.
Yeah.
That's a very subjective opinion.
No, it's very objective.
What is the point that you're trying to make?
It's unbelievably. I mean, we're in California right now. We're in Los Angeles. This is a state that's been run for over 60 years by a Democrat supermajority. We've had Democrat governors for.
Don't think that's necessarily 60 years since 1965. I mean, we could look at their California governors. Spell governors wrong. Did. He might be right. Let's see. Yeah, but Newsom, Democrat. Term in office. We can start with him. So we had Reagan, Jerry Brown, George, Pete, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, it's been pretty split between Democrats and Republicans, all in all. I mean, we could look at California's senators as well. They have currently Adam Schiff and Alex Padilla. Democrats. Obviously, recently it's been Democratic. John Seymour, Pete Wilson, S.I. Hayakawa, and then George Murphy. I mean, I don't know. That's a very interesting claim.
Prove me wrong.
Prove you wrong?
Yeah.
That's a very subjective opinion.
No, it's very objective.
What is the point that you're trying to make?
It's unbelievably. I mean, we're in California right now. We're in Los Angeles. This is a state that's been run for over 60 years by a Democrat supermajority. We've had Democrat governors for a plurality of almost 60 years as well. The last 12, it was Jerry Brown Jr., and now we have Gavin Newsom for 2 terms. And the state,
that guy's looking down. He's like, holy shit, this guy will be a great politician, dude. He's fucking full of shit.
Not only are we running a historic deficit, but we just spent, as somebody mentioned here earlier, $25 billion in 5 years to solve the homelessness crisis. And that money just evaporated. It went all to NGOs, Gavin Newsom's crony.
I mean, that's incredibly disingenuous to say it all went to NGOs and whatnot. Or specifically for, state employee profit. But
and there's no accountability. There's no interest in there being any.
They should have tracked the money better, to be fair, right? I mean, there's definitely a criticism leverage there, but it seems like they're trying to weaponize it to make it sound like the money just disappeared. Probably not the case.
Accountability, so much so that LA County itself has spent over $1 billion to fix homelessness. Our current comptroller, Kevin Mejia, tried to do an audit, and the mayor, Karen Bass, communist, Karen Bass, yes, she's
communist.
Communist, look it up. Okay, so trained by Fidel Castro.
What is this whole
trained by Fidel Castro?
The whole thing is that it's centralized power. They're all communists. They're all Marxists. You're part of this. You're part of this infrastructure. Let me finish.
Bass told The Atlantic that she had seen Castro speak several times but never met the dictator.
That's my point. Let me finish. Yes, that's exactly.
On learning of his death in 2016, Bass released a statement from her credential office saying the passing of the Comandante en Jefe is a great loss to the people of Cuba. She later expressed regret for the statement, but she was being vetted as Joe Biden's running mate in 2020. I mean, that's a pretty stupid thing to say as an American politician, right? Given our history of Cuba.
What I just stated.
So Joe Manchin is a communist?
Let me just finish my point.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean she's a communist, ideologically, right?
Let me finish my point. Well, he's associating himself with that. Yes, your party's being eaten from within by the Democrat Socialists of America. That's how you get
Democrat Socialists
out of New York.
Yeah,
wow, one politician.
Literally,
that you just described a party.
Wow.
That
one politician at the municipal level, and it's like, granted, it is New York City, our biggest municipality, but still, that means the entire Democratic apparatus is run through with fucking socialists and anarchists and Marxist-Leninists and tankies. Is like, I don't think so, buddy.
As diversity of thought. That's kind of how things
That's not
work
diversity of thought.
That's
Absolutely not.
That's what happens
It is
when you're not.
absolutely
That's
not.
what happens when you're not in a brainless cult like
So,
MAGA,
I'm
right?
just going to tell you.
For example,
Unbelievable levels
a
of
party
gaslighting.
in the Democratic Party is one that has folks like Joe Manchin and Zoran Mamdani. It's people with a wide array of a political spectrum.
You're being extremely
No, he's right. I mean, there are different like subsections of the Democratic Party. You could probably say that at least prior to MAGA, because MAGA has like a pretty strong monopoly on the Republican Party. There was, ideological diversity there too on the conservatives, right? We just have like basically umbrella political parties that it's kind of a necessity of having a first past the post electoral system. But I mean, you have like the more progressive Democrats, like AOC and Jasmine Crockett and like the Squad types. You're gonna have your more moderate Democrats. You're gonna have like your cosmopolitan type Democrats like Bill Clinton from back in the day. It is relatively ideologically diverse. Now, obviously, just because people aren't ideologically aligned doesn't mean that the Democrats are not going to work together or try to negotiate and compromise, especially when you're trying to combat MAGA policy.
Tenuous right now.
I just want to know from you, what is it that you're trying to say about Democrats that hate America? You're saying that half of America hates this country.
Let me finish. Let me do my point. Okay, you brought up Joe Manchin and you brought up John Fetterman. Two people that every time, John Fetterman specifically, he actually is a middle of the road guy. Let me finish my point. Okay, every time he sides with common sense policy that is coming from the Let me finish my point, dude. Every time he sides with common sense policy. Let me finish my point, bro. You're gonna just keep.
This guy's getting rage baited again, man.
I'm not flustered.
I can see it over you. Your eyes.
I'm not. Oh, now he's trying to play back what I did a minute ago.
Remember that one?
Yes, I do remember that one.
Look how the tables have turned.
Oh my God, dude, you're being so petty. Just let me finish my point, okay?
It's dying inside.
Brought up Joe Manchin and John Fetterman. Okay, every time they side with common sense policy from Republicans, what happens? They get eaten alive by their own side. You watch Hassan Piker, you watch anybody on the left, they will eat them alive for siding with common sense, things that people in Pennsylvania and their states want. Not the Democrat orthodoxy, okay? Your party hates America. You look at Ilhan Omar.
I just want to make sure that
Ilhan Omar got into Congress. Look this up, folks, with a negative net worth of $45,000. She's worth over $60 million. Explain that to me right now.
$60 million. Whoa, that's the first time hearing of that. Ilhan Omar net worth. Ilhan Omar's reported net worth has seen significant fluctuations, with her latest financial disclosures indicating a raise between approximately negative $40,000, she's in big debt, and $115,000, excluding her husband's business valuations. However, some reports have suggested her assets could be valued between $6 million and $30 million, leading to ongoing investigations into the accuracy of disclosures. Okay. $60 million is a bit of a increase there, but I'm not sure where he's getting that number.
That there are people with a wide array of thought. And by the way, I just want to make sure
it is not.
I am not in the Joe
Manchin,
John Fetterman era.
You're gaslighting.
That's not where I stand personally. I am a Barack Obama style Democrat. But ultimately, of course, right? I think he was a really good president. But at the end of the day,
you support
Barack Hussein Obama.
No. I want to take.
Oh, he's going on another tangent.
Hold on one second.
Democrats hate America.
You think Barack Obama was the greatest president when he unilaterally called
Look, they literally got people they say Obama and they just immediately get triggered, right? You got people on the sidelines shouting out.
Strikes abroad and killed the most innocent civilians in the history of the United States presidency.
I don't agree with that.
But you don't agree with that?
I don't agree with that, and that's exactly what.
Wait, the most innocent civilians? Ooh, that's another one I got. I mean, in American history. God damn, bro. How many people died from, let's just say, like, drone strikes under Barack Obama? How many people did Obama? Jesus Christ. During the Obama administration, the U.S. conducted 542 drone strikes in non-active battlefield zones, resulting in an estimated between 2,400 and roughly 4,000 total deaths. Independent reports suggest civilian casualties range anywhere between 64 and 807. Of American citizens, he specifically said the most of any American citizen. I'm not sure if I can think of any time. There have definitely been instances of presidents making, doing things that killed a lot of civilians, like probably the most obvious one being President Truman approving the atomic bombs dropping on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right, which killed hundreds of thousands of people. But obviously those were Japanese citizens. Or even like Andrew Jackson with the Indian Removal Act, which ultimately killed probably thousands of Native Americans, but technically, I don't think Native Americans were technically considered American citizens at that time. That might be up to debate. I'm not well versed enough in that area of history to know whether or not they would be considered civilians, but I'm not sure if it's of all time.
And killed the most president when he unilaterally called the most amount of drone strikes abroad.
Oh wait, I'm a retard. Holy shit! Like I'm so fried right now. All those civilian drone strikes were literally overseas too. So this guy's claim is just completely fucking nonsensical. Sorry, my brain is skipping out here. No, he didn't kill
the most innocent civilians in the
he said innocent civilians. I don't know why I thought he said American civilians. I'm a dumbass. My apologies.
History of the United States.
That is just blatantly false then.
Presidency.
I don't agree with that.
But you don't agree with that?
I don't.
This guy ever hear of World War II, bro? Ever hear of the Japanese bombings?
I agree with that, and that's exactly what I just said. Is that people?
But you just said he was the greatest president.
Excuse me.
No, diversity of thought is killing innocent civilians.
He never said he was the greatest president. This guy's slippery, man. He said he was a great president.
I hate to break it.
How is that diversity of thought?
I hate to break it to you, but Donald Trump also had an increase of drone strikes more than what was happening under Barack Obama.
According to a Rutgers study, Obama authorized more than 500 drone operations over his 2 terms in office. In terms of increase, this was multiple times higher than under the George W. Bush administration, since the technology wasn't prevalent during his term.
So you might want to go check your numbers, because if that's
wait, are you going to give us the Trump numbers?
Your guy literally went and had more drone strikes.
Guess what?
The Bureau for Investigative Journalism lists 2,243 drone strikes in Trump's first 2 years in office. The Bureau counted 1,878 in Obama's 8 years? I didn't know that. What the fuck, dude? Oh, man. Well, how many people died from drone strikes then? I mean, like when they listed drone strike, does that include maybe, like there might be drone strikes that weren't necessarily successful, or maybe there were drone strikes on like infrastructure that didn't kill people? I'm not entirely sure. But how many people were killed by drone strikes during Trump 1? Let's see. Check out this one. During Trump's presidency, there were approximately 2,243 drone strikes, which resulted in significant civilian casualties, although exact numbers can vary. Reports indicate that U.S. drone strikes in various countries, including Yemen and Somalia, led to the deaths of many civilians, with estimates suggesting at least 1,257 civilian deaths in Iraq and Syria alone. Ooh. Wow. Uh-oh. This guy might have just gotten cooked here.
But you're still going to go to Mar-a-Lago and beg for his support, aren't you?
I didn't just sit here and say that Barack Obama is the greatest president in history.
But Donald Trump had more drone
knowing
strikes.
that he killed more civilians.
But Donald Trump had more drone strikes, but you still think he's a good president, right?
I didn't say that I approve of drone strikes. I'm calling
So
out
it's
drone
almost
strikes.
like if you disagree with something, you can still support the politician overall. That's kind of how that works.
I'm literally calling out drone strikes. Do you understand how your cognitive dissonance is working?
You're trying to say that because I support Barack Obama and I disagree with drone strikes, that all of a sudden that's some type of failure in my reasoning, while you literally support Donald Trump, who had more drone strikes, and you still support him. You literally came dressed like him today. You're wearing the pin, you're wearing the tie, you're wearing everything. You came just like him.
Hold on 1 second. Wait. I just want to make a point here. He has a problem with somebody wearing the American flag. Pure dumb.
Oh my God. This guy will be a perfect MAGA politician. He's just built for it. He's literally fucking Ron DeSantis from Temu.
Right. You hate America. You just made my point for me. Thank you so much.
But I said that you're dressed like Donald Trump.
Can you at least shake my hand? Can you at least shake my hand?
That I said that you're dressed like Donald Trump.
Oh my God. Civility is done.
No. no, it's just rage. He's not real. He's not real. He can't be real. He can't be real. Hired actors. Hired actors.
With the way I'm dressed, I'm wearing the American flag. I'm wearing American colors, red, white, and blue.
Because
you just said you have a problem. You made my point for me, bro.
I said that?
Yeah, you did.
What I said was that you're trying to say that because of I support Barack Obama, that has to mean that I support everything that he did. You support Donald Trump.
You're splitting hairs, bro.
You literally, this is your argument.
You're turn. Look,
you literally support a man that had more drone strikes.
I specifically called out drone strikes. You think that means that I support any president doing it?
Donald Trump had, and you literally.
You think you're literally having to put words into my mouth so you can exonerate yourself of a point that I made because you can't respond to it.
Your own argument.
No, you called Barack Obama the greatest president that ever was, and I said,
did I say that?
Do you endorse his drone strikes? Yes, you did.
I'm tired, boss.
So you think killing
3 more minutes of this torture?
So do you think Donald Trump was a great president?
I think he's doing a pretty good job compared to other people.
So you think a pretty good president is someone who had more drone strikes than Barack Obama?
I don't endorse drone strikes. No, I don't.
So it's almost like that's a wash then.
We're stuck in the same point. We're going around. I feel like we're going around in circles. Let's just take it back for a second.
Because it didn't work out for that win.
Yeah, you can win however you want, but that's not actually what
I don't think libs of TikTok
I think the people
like this one.
I think the people at home can see a lot better that you hate America and that you
I'm sure, dude. I'm sure, man.
You literally said that you have a problem with me wearing this suit.
You're dressed
where
like
I have
Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we're going back in circles. I'm trying to move the conversation forward. It's got nothing to do. I could argue.
This guy, he's like, what the fuck am I doing here, bro?
For my whole life, but I think the good people at home would rather see something different.
Yeah,
so
I'd pivot too. If
I think we all.
Not working out well for you.
Okay, you can say whatever you want to save your ego. Here's the thing, okay? Prove to me that you don't hate America. I gave you a bunch of data. Show one piece of policy from Democrats that's been good for the working class.
You asked me to prove whether or not I love America. I love America.
No. That's not what I asked you. That is not what I asked you.
You wanted me to prove
I asked for one piece of policy.
My grandparents worked their entire lives.
Look, the Democrat Party.
I love
the Democrat Party is one of the most dishonest, self-serving parties in the history of this country. Well, it's been like this forever.
Nice.
Okay? Ilhan Omar got into office. Okay, so defend Ilhan Omar. She got into office with a negative net worth of $45,000. She's worth $60 million now.
I'm not here to talk about.
Did he say 6 million or 60 million? If he said 6 million, that may have misheard him, but.
$55,000. She's worth $60 million now.
I'm not.
Okay, he said 6 million, I think.
AOC.
I thought he said 60 earlier.
Stop the oligarchy tour.
Wait a second.
Spent $50,000 on luxury hotels and Bad Bunny concerts. How is that loving America?
Wait a second. I just want to make sure that something's clear.
No, just explain that to me. No, now you're trying to pivot.
AOC joined U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders on a multi-stop fighting oligarchy tour that lists events across the country. It doesn't list any events in Puerto Rico.
I just want to make sure this is right.
A December 11th Fox News story described nearly $50,000 expenses for the Congresswoman's trip to Puerto Rico between June and September of 2025. Snopes corroborated the amount through campaign finance reports, though there's no evidence any campaign funds were tied to a Bad Bunny concert, despite the Fox News headline. Fascinating.
You're trying to say that someone increasing their net worth
in Congress,
in government per se, is indicative of someone who doesn't care about.
Oh, they're about to hit him. They're about to hit him with the SAT. Because Trump's net worth has gone up roughly $3.5 billion in 1 year since his inauguration.
Right.
I think enriching yourself on
which is bad, right? Like they were like some conservatives were giving shit to Joe Biden because his net worth over the course of 4 years, keep in mind, not just 1, but 4 years, went up I think about $3 billion from like 8 to 11 million, if I'm remembering the numbers correctly. And I think a vast majority of that money was already just like invested into the stock market. And keep in mind too that the stock market did exceptionally well the last couple of years, 2023 and 2024, I believe. Definitely 2024, because I remember my stocks fucking went through the roof. I forgot how much they went up. It was like fucking like close to 20% if I remember. I just have all my money invested into an index fund, but so yeah, it's ridiculous.
Of Americans when you're there to serve is inherently dishonest, corrupt, and it is anti-American.
You think so?
Yeah.
How much has Donald Trump's net worth increased since he's been the president?
I know that he spent for a fact over $600 million in wrongful lawsuits that were brought by Letitia.
Oh, wow.
Democrats in the.
How altruistic of him, man.
How much what?
How much is his?
Or charitable, I should say.
He's been president in 2025.
Well, you tell me.
$3.3 billion.
He also had to spend. He also had to spend $600 million. He also had to spend $600 million on
the presidency.
on these lawsuits that you guys. These frivolous lawsuits.
Nobody has made more money off the.
He's been an independent businessman his entire life. He still owns golf courses. His son Eric
made more than him.
His son Eric still owns golf courses.
So if your own logic is that making money in public office is indicative of someone who hates America, I would say the guy who's made more than anybody else in the history of America probably hates America,
this is
right?
An absolutely false equivalence.
That's not how that works, did it?
This is an absolutely false equivalence.
That didn't work out well for you.
This is a false equivalence.
And your campaign
It's a false equivalence.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure I'm going to be...
No, not at all, dude. He's perfect for MAGA, man. He's got him in the pocket.
Okay? Do you have a problem with Congress people enriching themselves off of insider trading?
I believe that we should ban insider trading 100%. I support John Ossoff's
So
stock
are you
act.
going to call out...
I'm curious if this guy would approve of Donald Trump using Melania coin a day before his inauguration to pull a rug pull on his fans, by the way. Which essentially, I don't know if it actually counts as insider trading, but he literally went on to Truth Social and said, hey, invest in this coin. Right? A bunch of people did a few hours, and then all the original investors sold after the price, went up. It was just a classic rug pull. It may as well have been fucking insider trading, or at least something analogous to it.
By the way, are you going to call out the people in your party?
Here's the situation. You just made an argument that making money in public office is something that is inherently indicative of someone who hates America. You're literally cheerleading and dressing like the man who's made more money off the presidency than anybody else in history, and you don't want to call that out. Partially because he went and created a crypto coin. Partially because he created a crypto coin that he literally used taxpayer dollars to go meet with people as a result of those things. The crypto coin that he created.
What you're saying?
You don't want to talk about that.
Yep. He also used it for people to buy favors in a decentralized way into his administration. So, I mean, the guy's just so thoroughly and uniquely corrupt, man. It's actually mind-boggling.
Do you
to begin with
the crypto coin?
These are all, bro.
Do we know
he was a
businessman in his crypto coin?
He was a businessman to begin with.
Let me ask you this.
Wow, he was a businessman.
Do we know who's investing in Trump?
So he can be corrupt, guys.
Lay it on me.
Do we know? Do we know who's investing in Trump's crypto coin?
Lay it on me.
Do we know?
Well, lay it on me.
Do we know for sure?
No, we can't. Because I'm pretty sure the transactions... Well, there's a public ledger, I believe, for crypto. I'm not a crypto bro. I think there's a public ledger, but I think you could still perform the transactions anonymously.
You're bringing this up if you don't know.
Because the point is that he is literally making money, billions of dollars, off of a crypto coin that he literally is pushing, that we have no transparency on whatsoever. Yeah. If that's not shady, I don't know what is. You have him literally spending our taxpayer dollars to go meet with his crypto donors. And that doesn't sound like something that's inherently corrupt to you?
Who are the investors? What's
Oh my God, that's the whole point, man. We don't know. That's what's so sketchy about it, is that there could potentially be, bad actors. Or even if it's not bad actors, it could just be people who are trying to, win favors with the president. It's just textbook corruption.
And literally
give
one
me all
of
the
people,
information around it.
Here's what's funny about this.
I need all the information right now.
He literally went and has done favors for in office are investors to his meme coin. It's so laughable to me that you guys can't even say.
Name
how about this?
Why don't you name them specifically?
How about
name
this?
one person?
How about I don't know his name directly.
Exactly. Boom.
I don't know.
Thank you. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, dude. You're just making shit up.
Because I can't give you the name. You didn't even know.
Yeah,
you didn't even know that Trump increased drone strikes. What are you talking about?
I'm not
you literally
sitting
have done this entire time.
I'm not sitting here and talking about stuff that I don't know. You sit here, you cite all this stuff. You can't have a piece of data to back anything up. Thank God you're not in Congress, dude.
You won't be either. So
congratulations.
I guess we'll both be sitting right there together.
You better not bet against me, bro.
Okay.
You better not bet against me.
Who are you running against?
Who do you think I'm running against?
I don't know. Who are you running against?
He doesn't know the name, dude. He literally doesn't know.
Guess.
Who?
I'm taking Adam Schiff's old seat.
Yeah. Good luck with that. You know what? Because last time I checked, Proposition
Adam Schiff's in
50 just passed, and Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, Adam Schiff's in California, right? We just saw him. Yeah, I would be very surprised if he beat Adam Schiff. This guy especially, there's no way. Not in Cali.
So he supports authoritarian gerrymandering, folks.
You know what?
It wasn't authoritarian. They actually held a special election, I'm pretty sure. The people voted on it. The people wanted it. It's not authoritarian. It's like inherently democratic by nature.
Wow.
I wonder what this guy would think about the gerrymandering that happened in Texas, by the way. that was literally pushed by Trump, which initiated the Prop 50 as retaliation, right? And reasonably so.
Here's why.
Hates America.
Here's why. Here's what it is. It was
You
the
hate
Republicans.
democracy.
Here's why.
You hate our
Oh
constitutional
man,
republic.
this guy.
You want to redraw the map.
Is it almost over?
Here's what it is.
Oh god.
In Texas,
I could handle 3 more minutes.
The state of Texas to take 5 seats.
And why did that happen again?
And you thought,
do you know about
that
Joe
Democrats
Biden?
were going to just sit around and do nothing.
Yeah.
So what happened? We drew the Republicans straight out of office.
How about you just look at what happened? You're from Texas. In fact,
by the way,
you're from Texas.
Let me ask you this.
No. Let me ask you this.
Will you support
because
Kevin?
you got an absolutely false point right now.
Support Kevin
We're just gonna talk over each other.
Will you support Kevin
This is
Kiley?
great.
Will you support Kevin Kiley's bill to ban partisan gerrymandering all across this country?
Before we get to that,
will you
course,
support
Kevin?
Oh.
Yes, I will support it.
Then why did the Republicans in Congress don't? Why don't they?
Well,
support
let me
it?
let me. Ask you a simple question. You're from
Why
Texas.
did they not vote for the
Let me
Before the
ask you a
People
simple
Act?
question.
Why did they not vote
Let me
for the
ask
Before
you a
the
simple
People Act to
question.
ban partisan gerrymandering?
Are you gonna
back
let me
in
ask you the
2020?
question? Or you're gonna filibuster?
What do you?
Let me ask you a simple question. Okay. So, do you know about Joe Biden versus Galveston, Texas?
No.
You don't know about that lawsuit?
No.
The lawsuit that triggered the gerrymandering in Texas that was brought on by Joe Biden. The gerrymandering. So Galveston, Texas tried to redraw the districts. They tried to draw minority coalition districts.
For what?
They were sued.
For what? Congressional seats or what?
They were redrawing those districts back when Joe Biden was president. Joe Biden, they were redrawing districts in Galveston, Texas.
What district?
I don't know specifically. This is.
Oh, he doesn't know. Oh, he doesn't know. Oh
I don't
no.
even know what.
Oh, you don't know every single town district in the state size of Texas. Oh my god, bro.
You're trying to nitpick details. I'm explaining to you the decision and how we got to this point.
Exactly what you're talking about.
You just said you don't know.
I tricked you. How about that?
Oh, great.
Oh,
Wow,
slammed.
So you're a liar. That's
Okay. This guy.
wow.
This guy has no shame. Absolutely zero shame.
The kind of politician we don't need in Washington.
Pause. We're out of time. We're out of time. Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
Appreciate it.
Jesus Christ.
I think that he was definitely looking for a clip, but it didn't work out for him. The idea that Democrats hate America.
Now, there will be plenty of clips, just not in the way that he wants them.
The stupidest things I've ever heard. And I think that ultimately what people saw was somebody that does not have any consistency in their argument, folks that are more concerned with being on the next libs of TikTok meme versus the people in this country that are paying more for everything. And I think that was
true, man.
Clear.
It's really unfortunate that he turned his passion for politics and for civic involvement into something that I would just call poisonous.
This guy, Dennis, is literally just like living, like everything he does is actually projection. Every single thing he does.
For politics and for
it's just so sad, man.
Into something that I would just call poisonous.
I thought it was good. I thought he was entertaining. He had a good sense of humor about it. I don't think he addressed some of the points that, we were trying to hit, but some of us didn't address some of his points, so that just kind of goes.
Oh, there you go.
He was very rehearsed. I feel like he would make a great politician, very like, y'all got.
Yeah, I thought he did well. I saw one comment, people saying he didn't do very well. I thought he did fine, to be honest. He did his homework. He had, enough facts off the top of his head or hand. Yeah. I thought he did pretty well.
What grade would you give Trump right now in his first year and second term?
Oh, Lord. This is going to be published. I would give him a C+.
Oh, C+?
Maybe a little harsh with this, but I'd say like a C+, maybe a low B, a B-.
I would give Trump a C right now.
I graded that an A. The main reason why.
Oh my God, Marty, the meat rider over here.
And the reason I think it's such a big success was the One Big Beautiful Bill.
I wish
he loves the one bit. Like even on the video he did with Adam Mockler, he was fucking raving about the One Big Beautiful Bill. Loves it, man.
he would do more to bring people across the aisle.
I think we should put Americans first, right? I don't like giving $40 billion to Argentina. I think that that's money going abroad here, helping our people.
Anti-war was such a strong reason for me to support him. And then I feel like he's been influenced with some neocons to, get involved in more conflicts abroad than we should be.
Jesus Christ, dude. Wow, I survived. Can't believe it.